postseason crowd in Bears history are packing Soldier Field today as the Packers and the Bears both think they have a shot at the title because it is a wide open and perhaps weakened NFC Central Division. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton with Johnny Morris. We saw the great backs, Middleton, and we also saw Walter Payton, but both coaches want to pass more this year.
Yes, they do, and the Bears have decided to go with Mike Phipps. As you know, Dick, they didn't announce it until Friday. It's been musical quarterbacks. Phipps is going to get the start, but Coach Neil Armstrong says, look, if he gets in trouble, I'll bring in Vince Evans or I'll bring in Bob Avellini. For the Packers, it's a different situation. David Whitehurst is #1. He had a good exhibition season, 30 out of 66. So we're ready for Green Bay and Chicago in 85-degree weather. Can you believe that?
We don't often have this kind of weather, Johnny, here in Chicago, as you know full well. And the Chicago Bears will be kicking off to the Packers. It'll be Steve Odom, number 84, deep, as Bob Thomas kicks it high. And Odom will take it at the 5-yard line. Number 84, Odom, cuts into the 30-yard line, and he's finally tripped up at the 35-yard line by Robin Earl, number 39, a return of 30 yards, and we're underway. So the Green Bay Packers go on offense. And David Whitehurst, as Johnny mentioned, the quarterback, number 17. Middleton will have some help, not from Barty Smith so much, but from number 40, Eddie Lee Ivory, the rookie from Georgia Tech. James Lofton is supreme as a wide receiver. Paul Kaufman supplanted Rich McGeorge at tight end. He's number 82. First and 10 at the 36-yard line. In motion there was Kaufman, and the call up the middle is to Barty Smith, who gets about to the 41, 42-yard line, a gain of about 5-yard line. Tom Hicks, the middle linebacker, number 54, makes the stop. Now the offensive line for the Green Bay Packers, and not a bad one at all. Mark Concar, back from knee surgery, missed all of last year as the left tackle. Larry McCarron, a 7-year veteran, is the senior man on the offensive line. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Ball at the 42. And here is Turdell Middleton, who is stopped short by about 2.5, maybe 3 yards for a first down. Johnny, last year, Middleton carried 284 times. He was a workhorse, and that's why Ivory's a man to watch. But let's take a look at the Chicago Bears defense. Dan Hampton, top draft choice, left end number 99. Alan Page, the master at tackle 82.
Yes, the Bears got him for nothing from the Minnesota Vikings, and Hampton will be a man to watch. This is his first start. He's a rookie. Let's see if the Packers try and work on him.
3rd down and 2. One setback. Whitehurst overthrows out of bounds. The intended receiver was James Lofton. So it'll be 4th down, and the Chicago Bears hold. And we will bring you up to date on the rest of that Bears defense the next time Green Bay has the ball.
And we have a situation for Bart Starr. He's now in his 5th year. He's never beaten the Chicago Bears on Chicago turf. I know that he'd like to do that, and the Packers would also like to have some sustained drive. They can strike quickly, but they have not had sustained drives over the years.
David Beverly's kick. Lenny Walterscheid is the single safety back at the 10-yard line, and he runs into a stone and a rock at the 20-yard line. Tackle made by Jim Gano, backup linebacker. A 46-yard punt by Beverly and a 9-yard return. So the Chicago Bears go on offense. Mike Phipps, number 15. He is the experienced play caller. John Skibinski, number 30, whose dad played guard for the Packers in the 50s, is the other running back. Golden Richards has been hampered, but James Scott is their best wide receiver, number 89. Mike Cobb ends Greg Latta's 44 consecutive starting streak at tight end. Ball at the 20, 1st and 10. Scott wide left. They show a blitz. Second back in is Payton. And Payton gets just a couple, and that's all. And he's brought down by the middle of the line. The offensive line for the Chicago Bears. Dennis Lick, number 70, may be the best of the group, although you like Ted Albrecht, number 68.
And he's a good ball player. Reedy Story and North Jackson are good pulling guards, and the Bears, traditionally the past few years, have depended on Walter Payton. They try and grind it out. The Packers have a little bit of a weakness in the middle. We'll see how much the Bears try and run Walter up the middle.
Brian Batchnagel, number 84. They alternate the wide receivers. As in the game, Golden Richards goes out. They split the backs at 2nd and 8 on the 22-yard line. Could be a passing down, but no, Payton will go wide. And Payton looks to be hemmed in, and he barrels his way close to a first down at about the 30-yard line. Mike Hunt, number 55, the middle linebacker, and that is the deceptive moves of Walter Payton shown there.
Yes, he's good to the outside, he's good to the inside. When you lead the NFC in rushing for 3 straight years, you got to be doing something right. And of course, he's the key, and as you mentioned, John Skabinski's playing for Roland Harper, and that's going to be important. He's blocking.
Green Bay defensive unit. They're going to miss Mike Butler, who didn't dress today. Robert Barber at one end. Ezra Johnson is just a great pass rusher. They're weak in the middle of tackle. You can run on them. The middle linebacker is Mike Hunt. Weaver is good against the run. They miss John Anderson, who is out with a broken arm. 2 tight ends in there now for the Bears. 3rd and 1 at the 29. A tight formation on both sides and a first down. John Skabinski moves forward to the 33-yard line, and the Chicago Bears have the first down of the year.
And if you don't think this is an exciting time for John Skabinski out of Purdue, this is his first start as fullback. He also led the entire NFL in rushing during the exhibition season. But he's got some big shoes to fill, as we mentioned, with Roland Harper being out, who was such a great blocker for Payton.
Defensive secondary for the Green Bay Packers. Estes Hood replaces Willie Buchanan, who was dealt to San Diego. Buchanan had 9 interceptions last year. Steve Luke and Johnny Gray are good hitters on safety. So it's 1st and 10 at the 33 for Chicago. Penalty marker down. Payton wins his way forward, tries to crawl up to the 40-yard line. It might have been a Green Bay player moving, but we'll wait and see.
There you see the great attributes of Walter Payton. He was hit and got an extra few yards. There's the offsides against the Chicago Bears.
So the Green Bay tackle was drawn off, and so the penalty is against Chicago as Bashnagel comes back. Neil Armstrong is alternating his wide receivers, Golden Richards and Brian Bashnagel.
Offside, offense, left end.
So Tom Myers, the umpire, Jerry Bergman, the head linesman, the referee, of course, is Gene Barth, working this NFL opener, the 120th meeting between these teams. 1st and 15 at the 28 puts Mike Phipps in a hole. Keeping the ball on the ground. Walter to the 35, 40-yard line, and Walter Payton may have gotten to within a yard of a first down, and he may indeed have it. Mike McCoy, the right cornerback, number 29, pushed him out of bounds on a superb run.
And a very nice block by Ted Albrecht. He wheeled Ezra Johnson out of the play. You can see Ezra Johnson went to the left, and then Payton dipped to the outside. Watch how he carries that ball in and out, in and out. Somebody hits him at that time, he could fumble, but then he tucks it away just as he's going to hit. And finally, Mike Douglas makes the tackle for the Packers. First down, Chicago.
Missed it, not a missed it by a yard.
Oh, missed it by a yard. He was a little short.
About 2nd and a long one. And they go again now to Robin Earl, number 39, who has the first down for Chicago. Now the Bears decided to start Skabinski in this game because he's quicker, but Robin Earl is a power back. And back next to Hugh McElhenney, he's one of the best running back in the University of Washington history, but it's another first down. Skabinski, I understand, is out with an injury right now.
Well, that will hurt the Bears. Did you see Steve Luke on that play? He was up in the middle of the line making the tackle. He had 133 for the Packers last year. A great safety, as is Gary Fencik for the Bears.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. First quarter. 11 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first period. So Skabinski apparently hurt his arm. We'll check on it. Right shoulder now. Phipps with the first pass dumps it out to Robin Earl, who falls down, and that'll result in a loss of 3 yards on the play. Steve Luke makes the play, and Robin Earl just slipped right down, and that's the defense loves that kind of thing.
Well, he actually did a good job of hanging on to the ball because he tangled his feet before the ball got there and still managed to make the catch. So the Bears will be in a passing situation. And with John Skabinski out, they don't have that much depth. Harper's already out, so they've got Robin Earl, and that's going to hurt the Bears.
Want to remind you, this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Chicago Bears and the National Football League is prohibited. 2nd and 14 now, and Phipps will give it to Walter Payton. Tries to find daylight and does. Went right through the middle. Don't know how he did it. And Gary Weaver makes the stop. Let's see Payton now as he found a hole.
And you see they're running from the I formation. He starts from the deep depth, cuts back, and this gives him a chance to survey the field. Then he just turns it on. Look at those dipsy-do steps. He gets away from Steve Luke, finally the tackle made by Weaver. Good running by Walter Payton, and the offensive line has to get some credit because when he's running from the eye up the middle like that and has time to dance around, that means they're blocking well.
Payton now has gained 29 yards on 4 carries, 3rd and 8. And Howard Sampson, number 36, is in the game. Dave Simmons, 61 as well. 5 backs to give to Earl, and Earl barrels his way, maybe short of a first down by a yard. We'll see where they spot it. It'll be awfully close, however, as Ezra Johnson, number 90, makes the tackle.
And did you see the block that Walter Payton threw for Earl? I mean, you don't get many scat backs in the 4 blocks like that.
The crowd naturally wants Neil Armstrong to go for it on 4th, and I would say about a foot, and they are going to go for it. Coming in the game now for the Bears, Mike Cobb, 87, and 88, Greg Lana, so they're going to go with short yardage.
They bring in the 2 big tight ends. In this situation, the Bears traditionally quarterback sneak. They've only got about a foot to go. Let's see if Phipps goes that way. Of course, he doesn't have a choice in the decision. The plays are sent in from the bench.
4th and 1. Less than 1. The man had it. Barzalauskas made the stop on Earl. When Earl gets some momentum as he did on that previous play, Johnny, he can really pick up a head of steam.
Yes, he's a good straight-ahead runner. Give him a chance to get rolling, and he's a tough runner, but it's going to be very close on the measurement. It looks to me that
they made it by 2 inches.
2.5 inches.
A little millimeter there.
Yes.
8:51 remaining. And now coming off the field. First down Chicago by a slight margin. Robin Earl is hurt. He has limped off the field. So the Bears, who have been hampered with injuries all over the place in practically every position, we'll tell you more about that. Hampered some more. And coming into the game, Dave Williams, number 22. Former San Francisco running back, and I didn't think they expected him to play.
No, he just got here about a week ago, so look at this. Philadelphia 20-3 over the Giants.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of Green Bay. The Bears have had good ball control here in this first quarter. Phipps goes to the air on 1st down. He's in trouble. He's going to run it, and he's going to gain to the 40, and he leaps to the 35. Not the wisest thing for a quarterback to do, but the linebackers Hunt and Douglas make the tackle, and the Bears have another first down.
Good ad-lib by Michael Phipps, who does not like to run the ball. No quarterback does, at least most of them. He got out of the grasp of Ezra Johnson, and that was the key. Good coverage by the Packers downfield because Phipps couldn't find a receiver open. You see good blocking Dan Neal, Dennis Slick both. Now here's where he eludes Johnson, takes the dive, number 90, stumbles, and then that was the key for Phipps to get away and get downfield, and then look at that power.
You know, Johnny, that offensive line has opened up some good holes for the back so far.
They certainly have.
1st and 10 now. Chicago at Green Bay's 35. No scores, 77 degrees at game time. Here's Payton looking for a hole, and Bowler has it. Inside the 30-yard line to the 29. It's a good 5-yard gain. And once again, those linebackers are having to make the tackles. Gary Weaver there.
Did you notice how quickly Payton cut up the field? He made that dart off of his guard. Reeve Sori, who was pulling. He's a great ball player. He's only 342 yards away from the Bears' all-time career rushing record of Rick Caceres, and he's only in his 5th year.
Robin Earl has a twisted ankle, but they expect that he'll be back, and they'll need him because with Harper out and Skavinsky hurt and Earl, I want to see that score again. 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line. James Scott wide to the left. Golden Richards, 83, split to the right. Up the middle goes Payton, and he vaults a couple, maybe a yard or two, and that's all. Well, you pointed it out, Johnny. The strategy against Green Bay is to run against their tackles because they have not been strong there, and I think with Butler out of action, they don't have the pass rush either.
That's true, and of course there's that score. You wanted to see it again. Jack Pardee's Washington team leading Houston 17-6 in the 2nd period. That game's being played in Washington.
The Bears are switching players right and left. Greg Latta comes into the game replacing Young Thompson. James Scott goes out of the game, we should say. So now they have 2 tight ends in their 3rd and 1. 26-yard line. Payton. Not this time, Walter. He is stopped by Barzalauskas, who made the big play there. Barzalauskas has been out of shape. He's had some personal problems, in all due respect to him, but he was always solid against the run. And they might have gone to the well once too often on that play.
So the Bears will have to go for the field goal, but they did eat up, 8 or 9 minutes on the clock. Green Bay's only had 3 plays in this first quarter. Bob Thomas will come in to kick the field goal. He had a good year last year. Let's see what kind of rush the Packers have. They have good special teams, the Green Bay team.
Thomas 17 for 22 in the field goal department. They don't complain about him anymore. It is a 44-yard kick. And it's blocked. It's blocked at the line. It was a low kick. And so the Packers blocked the kick. We'll try to see who got the hand on it. Might have been Simmons, but we'll see. So the Chicago Bears dominated the action, but they couldn't get on the board. And with 5:26 to go in the first quarter, still no score. Dick Stockton and Johnny Morris back at Soldier Field in Chicago. A block kick, which you'll get to see in a second, and the Packers have the ball 1st and 10.
It was Michael Hunt who blocked it, and we'll see it just after this play.
Marty Smith, 33, Turdell Middleton, 34. The setbacks for David Whitehurst. Here's Middleton. Middleton going outside, and a good play from the safety position by number 45, Gary Fensick, who handled that play well. Let's see the block of the kick on Thomas's field goal attempt.
Watch Hunt at the middle of the screen. He comes right over Dan Neal, the center. He moves everybody back. Watch the power as he comes through, and Dan Neal goes back on his rump, gets one hand on, and blocks the field goal try, and that's important because Chicago had set the tone. They had a great drive, and Green Bay stopped them. Let's see what kind of psychological effect that has.
So important to come away with something when you have the ball that long, and the Bears could not. 2nd down and 11, loss of a yard at the 26-yard line. Whitehurst up the middle, and stripping is Barty Smith. Barty Smith gains a couple of yards. I don't think there's any question in anyone's mind that Eddie Lee Ivory, number 40, is going to be the fullback for the Green Bay Packers. Barty Smith is kind of getting a courtesy call starting this game, John.
Well, he's a good blocker, good steady ball player. He's done well for the Packers over the years, and he probably deserved to start, but we'll see Ivory playing.
Dallas draws first blood, 3-0 over the Cardinals in their NFC Eastern battle in the first quarter. 3rd down and 9. Walter Tullis, number 87, is in at wide receiver. 3 wide men in all now. Whitehurst is going to throw. Here comes the blitz, and he's hit hard, and the pass is completed. It's completed now to the 50-yard line to Andra Thompson, who battles his way to the 38. A safety blitz by Chicago, but Whitehurst completed the pass to Thompson.
And what a play by David Whitehurst. He put that pass right on the nose with the Bears coming after him. Let's see how he did it. As they come up on the line, here comes Len Walderscheid, Gary Fensick. Whitehurst sees it coming, but he still goes through with his pass, and he hits Andra Thompson right on the nose. Beautiful play by the Green Bay Packers, and that has been their trademark. The Bears may control the ball, but the Packers have that tremendous speed, and they can strike.
A 34-yard gain on Whitehurst's first completion and a first attempt. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of Chicago. Whitehurst play-action pass, and he's incomplete, penalty marker down. Alan Page had a hand on him. The pass was intended for Middleton, but a penalty marker down about 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, and we might have holding in Ledoux against the Packers.
We just saw why David Whitehurst is the #1 quarterback for Green Bay. That was a terrific play, and he played hurt towards the end of last year, and Lynn Dickey has been hurt. A couple years ago, he broke his leg. They've had a lot of quarterback injury problems, and Bart Starr, being a former quarterback, he sympathizes with that, but he knows how important that is to the game. Let's listen to the penalty.
Number 57, offense, holding, 1st down.
Darrell Goforth, the left guard, was holding on the play. You talk about Whitehurst, who had his best game of the preseason against Atlanta with 14 completions and 2 touchdowns and 233 yards. He's got poise. They wonder about the strength of his arm, but Bart Starr should know about quarterbacks who may not be the strongest passers developing. 1st and 20 now at the 49-yard line. Packers back in their own territory. Whitehurst has time, and he hits, Andra Thompson was the intended receiver, and it was broken up nicely by Virgil Livers. You wonder, of course, you thought that Schmidt would be the man they'd be working on today, but I thought Thompson should have had it.
Yes, the pass was a little bit high, and Virgil Livers went high and knocked it loose. If the ball had been down in the stomach, Andra Thompson probably would have hung on to it, but you saw good pass blocking. Here comes Livers. The only thing he could do was hit, and he did hit and jar the ball loose.
Thompson had his hands on it. Incomplete. 2nd and 20 at the 49. Lofton, number 80, goes split to the right. Thompson, 89 to the left. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. No score. Penalty marker down. Whitehurst loops one out, and and it's intercepted. The Bears have intercepted. Now they rule incomplete. It looked as if Livers had grabbed it and he lost it, but not a good pass for Whitehurst. Thompson was the intended receiver as he lofted it too much.
Yes, he did, but I think the Bears were offsides on the play anyways. You saw Alan Page got a very quick jump on the ball. It was either Page or Osborne, but it looked like it might have been Alan Page, and here comes the pass. Livers was right there. Good coverage by little Virgil, 5'8½", and he just stole the ball, and then it came loose right there as he came down. But it is all for naught anyway because the Bears were offsides.
You're right, Alan Page was offsides on the play. The Bears now are going with 5 defensive backs.
I'm sure that Whitehurst saw that offsides. It was pretty obvious right down there on the line, so he can take a chance and throw the ball down there, throw it up for grabs, because you never know what might happen.
Winford Gaines, number 36, is the 5th defensive back for the Bears. Walter Cullis, 87, is in at wide receiver. 2nd and 15. Thompson's in the slot. Whitehurst gets a rush, and he's dumped back there. Alan Page, who led the Bears in sacks, and Hartenstein pinched in from the end position.
And here's what the Bears love to do. The tackles and ends crisscross. Watch the tackle. Hartenstein, 73, comes down the line, and Page went to the outside to confuse the Green Bay blocking, and it worked. He got to the outside and made the tackle. Good play by the Chicago Bears, as Whitehurst, boy, he hit him in the back there. That's smart.
34-year-old Alan Page in his 13th year with a sack, 3rd and 25 at the 46. Not much he can do here. 6 defensive backs for Chicago as Winford Gaines and Walterscheid are back. But Whitehurst will throw it, and it's incomplete, intended for Andre Thompson. Defended on the play by Winford Gaines, and the Bears were solid on defense. The penalty hurt Green Bay there.
It certainly did, and of course David Beverly will come in to punt for Green Bay. He had one, I think, 5 yards last week, but he gets them high.
He had 150 and 1.5, so I mean he can go either way.
The average comes out to about 30, then, huh? There's
Bart Starr at 5th year, and talk about longevity. He's been around longer than most. Here's the kick by Beverly. It's a high kick. Walterscheid is back there. Runs it in a crowd, and he is stopped at about the 25. Gano, number 51, among others. And the Bears will go on offense. 37-yard punt by David Beverly. So 2:49 remain in the first quarter in Sun-drenched Soldier Field, where there's not an empty seat. There's no score. Good news for the Bears. John Skibinski, number 30, is back in the ball game. He's wearing a collar around his neck right now, and I'm sure Peyton and Phipps are delighted with that. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. 2:49 to go first quarter. Nothing. Phipps goes to Skibinski. Tries the middle and picks up a couple extra yards before Mike Douglas makes the tackle for the Green Bay Packers.
There's a look at John Skibinski out of Purdue. Wraps around that ball. There's a host of Green Bay Packers there, and he gets as much as he can out of it, but good gang tackling by Green Bay. As you see, the Bears are pounding away. So far, they're passing on the 3rd down situations. Otherwise, they're running the ball. Green Bay had tremendous success last week, by the way, by throwing on 1st down.
Most teams do. 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line. Pitch out to Walter Payton. Good pursuit by number 53, Mike Douglas, at the linebacking spot. Ezra Johnson also helped out. John Anderson, who made the all-rookie team on defense as a linebacker, suffered a broken arm, and he's on injured reserve. And so the Packers are hurting defensively with Butler as well as John Anderson out, but they like Douglas.
And Douglas did a good job. He played off the block by Skibinski that time and stopped Peyton from making a big gain. Now we have a 3rd and 2.5 situation. Let's see what the Bears choose to do.
San Francisco leading Minnesota 6-0 at the half. Could be a rough year for both of those teams. Phipps will throw and complete it for a 1st down to Walter Payton out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Douglas knocked him out of bounds. So a good solid pattern and plenty of time for Mike Phipps to complete it.
How would you like to be a linebacker and have to cover Walter Payton out of the backfield on a short pass? He does a pretty good job. He gives him some room. Payton cuts to the outside, and he does the best he can with it, Mr. Mike Douglas. Good play.
1st and 10 for the Bears. The ball is spotted just beyond the 41-yard line. Both wide receivers line up to the left. Phipps up the middle, and a fine catch there by Mike Cobb, the tight end, number 87. Cobb was a #1 draft choice by the Cincinnati Bengals. He had a shoulder injury last year, but he won the job and one of the new starters for the Bears on offense this year.
He won it mostly on his excellent blocking. We have to say there that Johnny Gray did a good job. That play has worked for the Bears all the exhibition season. The tight end has been wide open. I'm sure Green Bay looked at the films, and they didn't get a lot out of it, Chicago didn't, because Johnny Gray was up there on his coverage.
5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 at the 47. Golden Richards to the top of his screen, 83. James Scott, 89. The other wide receiver. Handoff. Short of midfield. And Payton, who's been carrying it most of the time here, short of a first down by about 2.5 yards. Michael Hunt makes the tackle.
I think he was rested. Last week, Payton only carried 4 times. He's played very little during the exhibition season. I guess they wanted to save him for game number 1. And you talk about yardage. In 8 games against Green Bay, Payton has 855 yards, and one time he gained 205.
Yeah, he's had some of his better days against the Packers. Here's Neil Armstrong on the sidelines. Payton, by the way, has 43 yards and 9 carries. We have a timeout called by the Bears here. Still no score. Dick Stockton and Johnny Morris back at Soldier Field, Chicago. 3rd and 2 at midfield for the Bears. Basically a conservative game thus far. Bears have stuck to the ground. Phipps has thrown a lot on 3rd and short yardage, at least with 3 yards. In motion comes Baschnagel, and Phipps will roll out. Penalty marker down. Mike will roll out and get the first down, pending what the penalty is. And he's to the 43-yard line. Gary Weaver makes the tackle. He's been strong against the run.
They may have called Baschnagel in motion, who may have turned up field a little bit too soon, which is a costly penalty. Instead of a first down, now they'll have 3rd and long yardage. But that's the first time the Bears have used that play this year, as Mike Phipps rolled out, and wished he had the legs of Vince Evans on that one, because Vince Evans runs like heck.
Number 84, illegal motion.
That's exactly it, Johnny. And so we'll have a 3rd and 7 instead of a first down. James Scott, 89, and Golden Richards both come back. And the tight ends will be coming out.
Do you think they'll have an equipment check in this game? You know, there's new rules now. The players are supposed to wear hit pads and knee pads.
And the knee pads have to be under the uniform pants. And I know Payton isn't crazy about that move.
If they checked them, I don't think we'd have enough players for a game.
Simmons and Sampson in the game. Sampson, the 5th defensive back for Green Bay. 3rd and 7. And here comes a kind of a Statue of Liberty play. Walter Payton, however, is tackled by number 50 for the Green Bay Packers defense. Make it Ezra Johnson, number 90.
So we're going to have a punting situation for the Chicago Bears.
Kind of a Statue of Liberty play. Not quite, but close to it.
Yes, it was. And watch Noah Jackson, 65, blocking right there. As he comes, you can see it to the left. There's the block on Hunt. And then finally the tackle by Ezra. Ezra Johnson had 21 sacks last year.
There's Odom, number 84. Parsons punting. Penalty marker is down. Good high kick. Fair catch called for by Odom. And the ball drops inside the 10, where it's brought down and down by a Bear inside the 10-yard line at the 9. We may have had a legal motion against Chicago. And you know what the Packers will do for sure.
I think they'll take the kick again, don't you?
I would think so.
That's 2 costly penalties. The Bears would have had the Packers down deep in their own zone. They could have had a first down a moment ago. Penalties always play such an important role in a game, as we all know.
So Thomas will kick over, or Parsons, we should say, will be kicking again.
Do you know that we're looking at 2 teams with combined 19 world championships between them? The Packers 11, the Chicago Bears 8. A lot of tradition.
Illegal motion, number 23 offense.
Lenny Walderscheid.
So Parsons will now kick from about the 30-yard line. Odom moves up to the 15, and there's the gun, ending the first quarter. So when we resume, the Packers will get the ball. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Green Bay Packers nothing and the Chicago Bears nothing. Tennis follows this telecast on CBS. Bjorn Borg has advanced. Gerulaitis and Vilas had a struggle to win. A lot of great tennis action following the game. Parsons will punt from the 30. Odom is deep, and Johnny Gray is the short man. A high kick. A fair catch by Odom as it sails over and takes a Bears bounce and goes out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So they got the same result despite the penalty virtually.
That was a booming punt and the right bounce. How many times will a ball with the nose pointed that way bounce backwards? That was a break for the Chicago Bears. The temperature is about 80 degrees and the wind is probably 25 miles an hour as you look at Neil Armstrong.
Second year for Neil Armstrong, 8 years defensive coordinator for the Vikings. And we will take a break right now. 1st and 10. We'll be back in a moment. Packers #1 draft choice, Eddie Lee Ivory from Georgia Tech. Their all-time leading rusher, number 40, is in the game now as the backfield mate with Turdell Middleton. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line for David Whitehurst and the Packers. No score. Pitch goes to Eddie Lee. Eddie Lee gets a hole. Penalty marker down. He gets to about the 15-yard line where Gary Campbell, number 59, outside linebacker, makes the tackle.
I think they're going to call a penalty on Mel Jackson. He actually, it was almost like a clip as he pulled out.
We got an early glimpse of Eddie Lee Ivory, who broke all Georgia Tech records. Quick, hard runner, can block and go to the outside. And we knew it was a matter of time before he'd be in the backfield. And actually, he was kind of quick, maybe three series.
Number 71, offense, holding.
You're right, Mel Jackson holding on the play. 1st and 16 now.
This is a tough call on your own 5-yard line when you got 16 yards to go for a first down.
Half the distance, back to the 5. Crowd urging on the Packers defense now. Young Whitehurst in a jam. 1st and 16. Gives off to Ivory. And Eddie Lee gets to the 11. And it takes a whole bunch of blue shirts to bring him down. Got a little bit just about to where the original line of scrimmage was. Hartenstein and Hicks make the play.
Alan Page almost made the tackle, but McCarron, see McCarron, number 54, throwing his block there, and he ties up Page as Ivory turns it on. Gary Campbell in on the tackle, and then a whole host of Chicago Bears.
Walter Tullis, number 87, comes in the game at wide receiver as Middleton goes out. 2nd and 9 now at the 12. Lofton has not caught a pass yet. He is split to the left. 5 defensive backs in for Chicago. Whitehurst has time up the middle, and Lofton was there, and it's batted down by Virgil Livers. A superb play, and Lofton was in good position on a bullet pass by Whitehurst. But the Bears are playing tight in that defensive secondary, John.
Yes, Virgil Livers, that takes a lot of cool air to stay because Lofton can run about a 9.400 as he comes down. The timing was pretty good, too. Livers just made a good job coming in, reached in with one hand right there and knocked the ball loose, and he hit just as the ball hit, so it's a legal play. And very good pass protection here as you see Alan Page on his rush as they tried another little crisscross. McCarron, number 54, just pushes Page out of the way. Hartenstein gets blocked out, and the Packers had execution, except they didn't complete it.
Undra Thompson, 89, moves into the slot. 3rd and 9 at the 12-yard line. The Bears show a blitz. Whitehurst passes incomplete. It was intended for Undra Thompson, and the pass was too far wide, so it'll be 4th down, and the Bears should have some excellent field position following this apparent Green Bay punt.
Okay, let's watch Jim Osborne hit Whitehurst after he throws the ball, and Gary Campbell was in the way downfield. That's why he had to lead him so much. But Jim Osborne put a shot on Whitehurst there that he may be still feeling on the sidelines.
Whitehurst 1 for 6 for 36 yards. Walterscheid, number 23, is in midfield. David Beverly with a tough rush, short punt, and the Bears will have good field position at the 43 or 44-yard line of Green Bay. So no score, and the teams are parrying back and forth like a couple of fencers would. 0-0 here at Soldier Field. for 72 yards, pass for only 9. Meanwhile, Green Bay picked most of their yardage through the passing route, 36 yards. They rushed for only 16. First and 10 at the 43-yard line of Green Bay for the Bears. Dave Williams, number 22, is in at running back. He is the up back, and Walter Payton takes one step out, goes in the middle, and gets to the 40, or she should say the 38-yard line. Mike Hunt, middle linebacker, makes the stop. Bob Avellini, and as you mentioned, Johnny, they're going to use everyone, which probably means that Neil doesn't feel he really has one outstanding man to go with now.
It depends on how you want to say it, but so far they haven't had a quarterback really come to the fore. Vince Evans has looked spectacular, and I think it's a question of time before he'll get in there and play, but as long as Mike Phipps can lead the Bears to victories, he'll be the #1 quarterback.
2nd and 5 at the 38-yard line. About 2 minutes into the second quarter in Chicago. Phipps dumps it off to Payton, and coming in and missing a tackle is the linebacker, and Payton gets, well, maybe a yard once it's all said and done. Robert Barber, who is playing in place of the injured Mike Butler, came in, and Charles Johnson, number 99, ultimately made the stop. This is a young Green Bay club, Johnny. You look at that offensive line, as we said, McCarron, for example, 7-year pro. Defense is a young team, too.
The Packers don't have a 10-year veteran on their team. I think 9 years. Lynn Dickey is the oldest on the team, where the Bears have several 10-year veterans. As you see, Washington and Houston, 17, 13 and a third.
Oilers coming back. 3rd and 5, 5 defensive backs for Green Bay at the 38-yard line, and the pass is complete. It'll be a first down. Estes Hood and James Scott, who caught 42 passes last year despite being injured most of the year, gives the Bears a first down.
A straight 4-man rush for the Packers. They haven't done anything fancy on defense. Scott came back for the ball, reached down there and made sure he had it in the breadbasket, and they just curled up. And there was nothing that Estes Hood could do, as the Bears are in field goal range.
And Mike Phipps has been perfect, 5 for 5 for 21 yards, using his passes judiciously at the 27. Skavinsky was in for a play, and now Williams is back, number 22. Payton going outside. Ezra Johnson. They'll make it Charles Johnson. Couldn't hold him, and now it takes several people from the Packers. Steve Luke, 46, the final man. Charles Johnson, the rookie, number 99, had him and couldn't hold him.
Actually, it was a great play by Johnson, because the Bears had the blocking set up. Look at right out in front there, but he got a hold of him, held him up, and finally Walter squirted away, and Steve Luke, 46, gets in on the tackle, and so do a bunch of other Green Bay Packer players. There's Ted Albrecht, number 64. Let's see what he does. Look at that block. He really cuts down Michael Hunt to keep him out of the play. Nice block by number 64, Ted Albrecht.
Albrecht can play guard as well as tackle. Don't forget, tennis follows the game. Jimmy Connors is in action today. Mike Phipps, as we said, perfect on the day. Phipps will go to the air. He has enough time, and the pass is broken up nicely by Steve Luke. Actually, they double-teamed Greg Latta, the tight end. Walter Payton, by the way, was out for a play. He's coming back.
They had Dave Williams and Skavinsky in there at the running back spots, but Payton comes back in, and they probably sent him with the play, because they all come in from the... No, here comes Bashnagel, number 84. He'll have the play.
Latta goes out. Bashnagel is in. But you're right. Bashnagel is the one who's come in with the play. Packers going again with the nickel defense. 3rd and 17.
No blitz.
Here comes the rush. He's hit from behind, and it is an incompleted pass. The referee ruled that he was in the act of passing. Ezra Johnson stormed in from the end position, and Phipps, they rule, was trying to pass. It'll be 4th down.
Okay, it's Ted Albrecht, 64, and Ezra Johnson. Albrecht tries to wheel him to the outside, but Johnson's so fast, and it was a deep drop by the quarterback. He got a little hold of the jersey, but it didn't help out, and boom. They ruled that as a forward pass, and I think it was a pretty good call. It looked like his arm was going forward.
You know, we're going to watch one of those new rules, and that is like trapping the quarterback without having to throw him down. We haven't had that situation yet. Parsons will punt. Steve Odom and Johnny Gray are both back. You saw Odom there. Going for the corner is Parsons.
Oh.
A good high kick, and it drops at the 1-yard line, and it's inside the 5. And the Bears have a great success in keeping those kicks inside. Fashionable downed it at the 4-yard line.
We'll have to start calling Bob Parsons a knuckleballer because that was amazing. The spin and the reaction, the French. It's still a scoreless game.
Let's have it 1st and 10. Bears have kept the pack hemmed in throughout this first half with great coverage and some great punting by Parsons. David Whitehurst to Turdell Middleton. Middleton has a blocker ahead of him, gets out to about the 9. He'll pick up 5 yards on the play. Gary Campbell, number 59, perhaps the best of the linebacker group, and Fensick came up from safety to make the stop. Darrell Goforth, who was a number 7 draft choice by the Pack a couple of years ago. There's San Francisco leading Minnesota 9-0. They're, of course, without O.J. Simpson. Vikings going with Tommy Kramer. Tampa Bay is, defeated Detroit impressively last night. Washington now widens their lead over Houston 24-13. 2nd and 4 at the 10-yard line. 9:42 remaining in the first half. Eddie Lee Ivory looks for room, and Ivory has a first down. And so far, Johnny, I like what I see of that fella. First down at the 16 because he seems to be tough to be brought down.
Yes, he got that extra couple of yards. Anybody who can gain 356 yards in the game, I think he did against the Air Force, he's got to be able to run the football. And he has good hands. He's a good blocker. He's not real big for a power back. He's about 205 pounds, but he plays like 220. And that's where that added speed that they have. They have fast running backs and fast wide receivers.
Buckensturm, 58. Campbell, 59, who made that play. The outside linebackers, Hicks, 54 in the middle. We'll see a lot of Bruce Herron, 51. 1st and 10 at the 16 for Green Bay. Got out of trouble there. Play action pass. Whitehurst has time, and the pass is completed. Paul Kaufman, the tight end.
Wait for Kaufman to clear because he was covered. He waited, and finally a great catch as Fensick went for the interception and hurt his shoulder on the way down. Good play by Paul Kaufman, who was, of course, playing for Rich McGeorge, who the Packers let go earlier in the training season.
Lenny Walderscheid, 23, comes into the game at the safety position with Fensick out of there. 1st and 10 at the 32. Here comes the blitz. A little play action and a long pass, and Lofton was down there and covered by Terry Schmidt, who is playing in place of the injured Alan Ellis. And there is Bill Curry, who is claiming that there was interference on the play, and Lofton had his man beat, apparently.
He's claiming that Terry Schmidt grabbed him. Let's take a look at the pass here as the Bears brought everybody but the kitchen sink. Let's take a look at Terry Schmidt and James Lofton downfield. There they are. The possible infraction happened before we got a look at it there, but it was an incomplete pass. That's the way it's ruled. That's the way it'll stand.
Johnny, they hadn't worked on Schmidt, number 44, at all until that play, and they were going for a broke on that one pass to their ace Lofton. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Tullis in the game. Penalty marker down. Almost an interception by Terry Schmidt, and if he had picked it off, he would have been long gone. But there's a penalty marker down in the Green Bay backfield. Schmidt on the coverage.
Looks like it's going to be against Green Bay from where the flag went down.
That's a dangerous pass to throw in a circumstance like that.
Terry Schmidt usually plays off fairly deep. That time he smelled something coming and went for the interception.
That was last year in the opener against St. Louis where he picked up an interception. It's like deja vu playing in place of the injured Alan Ellis, whose knee is slow to respond.
57 offense.
Darrell Goforth called for holding for the 2nd time in this game. So it is 2nd and 20 now for Green Bay at the 22-yard line.
Gary Fensick is back in the game for Chicago.
6 defensive backs used by the Bears. Went for gains in there. Dallas leading 10-0 in the 2nd quarter.
Here they come.
Here's the blitz. They miss him once, but they don't miss him again. And Campbell, the linebacker, comes in. Walderscheid went right by him, but Campbell backed him up, and they blitzed everyone on the play.
The key was Walderscheid because he got in there in a hurry and busted the blocking patterns, and Campbell followed through. There's Walderscheid, and then that left the hole there for Campbell to make the tackle, and Whitehurst did all he could do, cover up, keep that ball.
And if you look at that formation on offense, they really didn't have enough people to stop the blitz.
Well, that's the reason for the blitz, and I'll tell you, the Bears used it a lot. The Packers have used it, but not today.
Well, Whitehurst has been in third and long all day today, and it's third and 27 right now at the 15.
Oh.
And here's getting loose is Eddie Lee Ivory on a handoff to the fullback. Fumble. Chicago apparently has recovered. The Bears recovered at the 29-yard line, and Eddie Lee Ivory is taken up. The Bears have recovered. Ivory got open, and let's see who picked it up for Chicago.
I think he may have pulled a hamstring or possibly a muscle cramp, but he went down like a ton of bricks. It just really hit him. And if it's a pulled hamstring, he's going to be out for a long time.
Might have been Alan Page. Might have been number 82, Alan Page, the old man who picked up the loose ball.
Well, let's take a look at the good play by Ivory here as he spun out of Mike Hartenstein and then turns it on right here, and about on his left foot goes forward. It just gives out on him, and down he goes. And that was it. The ball just came up, and the Bears recovered. Looks like Alan Page, Chicago has the ball.
Injured it on the field. It looks like his knees gained 24 yards and 3 carries. We're going to see the moves before that hit and fumble.
As we see him fall down, I think it looks more like the knee because he will grab his knee as Virgil Livers comes up for the tackle, and on his way down, as he hits the turf, you'll see him grab for his knee, so that could be even worse than the hamstring, or just as bad, as he fumbled the ball and he grabbed there. It's unfortunate. Now they're taking him off the field, and let's hope it's not serious because the Packers have a good young ball player there. It's going to help him this year.
They were counting on Eddie Lee Ivory, without question, to take some of the heat off of Turdell Middleton, who had 284 times. Middleton gained over 1,000 yards. Most of those yards were in the first 8 games of the season. He didn't do much of the rest of the year because he was hurt, and he needed the help, and this is a tough break for Green Bay. We want to remind you of a special event coming up on CBS Sports on Saturday, September 15th, Project SOS. As Stan Barrett, a stuntman, will try to break the sound barrier in his rocket-powered land vehicle. It'll travel approximately 740 miles an hour, and you can see it on CBS Saturday, September 15th, right before the CBS Sports Spectacular. First and 10 for the Bears at the 29, 7:33 to go in the first half. Mike Phipps quarterbacking all the way, Peyton 34, and Dave Williams 22. Williams is the up back. Williams, formerly with the 49ers, picked up this week. It's Peyton reversing direction and going nowhere on a fine play by number 70, Robert Barber. Barber originally was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's seen a lot of action starting for Green Bay, but it was going to be Butler and Ezra Johnson at the ends this year, and Butler not dressing today.
It's amazing the way the Bears have controlled this game that the score is still scoreless, so it's anybody's ball game. As Bart Starr's got to be wondering, what do we got to do to get some field position so that we can run our normal offense?
Chicago has had good field position. There's Bart.
It's Zeke Bratkowski who sends in the plays, but now it's Chicago's ball.
Phipps is 5 for 7 now for 21 yards. Going to attempt his 8th pass, and it's completed to young Williams. And Williams is out of bounds. Picks up perhaps 5 or 6 yards on the play. Gary Weaver makes the stop on number 22 Williams.
The Packers really aren't getting too much in the way of the pass rush. So they had that one sack by Ezra Johnson, but you see there's plenty of time. It's just a 4-man rush out to Williams, who just reported to the Bears this last week. Gary Weaver makes the tackle, and he's played very well for the Packers over the years, especially good against the run.
Golden Richards, 83, lines up to the bottom of your picture at 3rd and 6. Scott, 89 at the top, 3rd and 5 at the 23. No score, 6:45 to go. And here is Walter Payton. Payton has a first down. To the 17-yard line, Steve Luke coming up from safety to make the tackle. He led the NFL in tackles by safeties, and Walter Payton, who now has gained about 50 yards, has a first down for Chicago.
Did you notice the time that he has to make a decision? There's not that much penetration by the Packers. He dips out. Here he wants to get the first down, so he just puts his head down and says, I better get it, not too much fancy. And that's what he does right there before Steve Luke is in on the tackle. And not in time, though, to prevent the first down.
Payton, 48 yards now. Eddie Lee Ivory has a twisted left knee. They put it nice. They don't think he'll be back in this game. Here's Walter Payton. High steps his way inside the 15-yard line. And so the Bears trying to set themselves up to get on the board in this game. Bob Thomas had a field goal attempt blocked earlier. The only possible the closest attempt we've had for a score was Michael Hunt, who blocked the kick.
The Bears have beaten the Packers 5 out of the last 6 times that they have played, and we'll see what happens today.
2nd and 6, 13-yard line. Payton really doing a lot of work today, and he gets to about the 10, so the Bears are going to set up.
The fans are booing because of the conservative football, but I'd have to agree with what they're doing right now. They got a chance to drive it on down. Now here's the play that's going to be interesting. 3rd and 3.
Well, when you talk about conservative play, if you're Neil Armstrong, do you say, do we take a chance and put it in the air to go for 6 and maybe get an interception? Or in a game like this, should I just play conservatively and have a good shot at getting 3 points?
I think what he'll do is figure he's not playing conservative and give it to Walter around the end or something like that, but that's strictly a guess.
John Skibinski, number 30, is into the backfield along with Payton. 3rd and 3 at the 11-yard line. And it's Skibinski. Sets up an attempt by Bob Thomas. Inside the 10, the crowd doesn't like it, but Bob Thomas. Let's see what happens now on 4th down. 4th and about 2 or 3.
The Bears are going to take the field goal, try and get on the board.
Doesn't surprise anyone here, and in a game of this sort, that's not bad strategy, Johnny.
That's except for the Bear fans have been kind of used to that the past few years, and they don't like it all that much.
I think they want to see wins, though, and if they get victories this way, that's fine. But time will tell on that. 25-yard attempt by Bob Thomas. And the kick is up. It's good, and we have our first score with 3:58 remaining in the first half. Bob Thomas has put the Bears in front 3-0 here in a beautiful day at Soldier Field, Chicago. Bob Thomas kicking off. Odom single safety deep now. And Odom fields it 3 yards and will down it in the end zone. Odom came out of retirement. He's trying to get his doctorate in clinical psychology. And his 11th hour move, he decided to come back to the Packers after retiring, and Green Bay is happy that he did. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line as you look at the scoring drive by Chicago. That took 3.5 minutes.
Do you think the Packers are happy to be starting from the 20 instead of the 5 or the 7 or the 10?
For them, this is an outstanding field position.
Yes, today anyway.
Barty Smith, number 33, who started the game, is back in there with Ivory out of there. 1st and 10 at the 20. Packers, of course, going to the air a lot more than Chicago. Here's Barty Smith. Fights his way for maybe a yard, that's all. Good pursuit by the linebackers for the Bears. Doug Plank came in from safety, and Gary Campbell there as well.
And the first hit was by their #1 draft choice, Dan Hampton, made the play. It appears that the Packers, if they're going to strike, are going to have to pass, to throw the ball. I don't think they're going to be able to get a sustained running game against Chicago this afternoon. At least that's the way it appears at this point. So they're going to have to go to Lofton and hit some of their strikers at the attack positions.
Well, maybe we'll see Lofton working with Schmidt a little more than we did. Tested him once. 2nd and 9 at the 21. Undra Thompson, 89, split to the left. Play action pass for Whitehurst. He has enough time, and he loops it. And was the catch made? No, it is incomplete. He was out of bounds. Undra Thompson, and he looks like he's shaken up. That's a tough pass across the field, and that's what it was for Whitehurst, John.
Yes, it was. It was like an out pass. As you look at Thompson holding his hip. And it looked like his foot did get down on the line to me. I think it was a good call. But the pass had to be thrown all the way across the field, and it was perfect right on the nose. Take a look. And boom.
Did not have possession.
Yep.
Didn't even think he got 2 feet in anyway.
And that spectator will probably move back on the next play. I hope he didn't get hurt with his collision with the spectator.
Spectator's all right, but Undra
okay.
Thompson may not. No, he seems to be all right. That's good news. 2nd and 19. In any event, Walter Tullis comes back in for the Packers.
And Mr. Tullis has a lot of speed. He ran a 4.27 40-yard dash, and I tell you, I have never heard of anybody running that fast.
They say he's the fastest player on the Packer roster. He was originally a number 12 round draft choice by the Redskins. They didn't want him. The Giants didn't want him, and the Packers have a use for him. He split to the left. 2nd and 19 at the 11-yard line. 3:03 remaining in the first half. You knew that the Bears wanted to come in there. The question is, were they drawn off by Greg Cook?
It appears that they will rule it that way, an illegal procedure against Green Bay, so they're back to their normal field position, the 5-yard line. That's tough to come out of there. Very tough.
Number 68, offense, false start.
Greg Cook, the right tackle, on a false start, so 2nd and 24. I just think, Johnny, it's impossible to win when you have 2nd and long yardage, 3rd and long yardage in this league.
Well, that means you have to stretch it. The defense plays it a lot differently. They have more men back if you try and pass the ball. And with Ivory out, they haven't got a real deep threat in the running game. Turdell Middleton could maybe break a draw or something.
6 defensive backs, Wenford Gaines and Walter Scheid are in there. And they show a blitz. Turdell Middleton trying to go outside. He has some room, and he's out of bounds. Short of the 15-yard line. Doug Plank drove him out there. So it's now 3rd and long. Let's watch Zeke Bratkowski on the sideline. Now they're actually giving the play to Tullis, aren't they?
It looks like that he is. Zeke is sending it in with. A lot of times Zeke will signal in the plays to Whitehurst, or at least the play in Whitehurst calls a formation. This time, since they had a direct messenger, they brought him in, and I'm sure he's telling them what to call.
Sometimes he looks like a third base coach.
Yes.
Well, we'll keep an eye on. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's trying to shield us out from the sun.
That couldn't have been a signal.
No, 3rd and 17. Middleton is out. Tullis is in. They got him in a hurry. That didn't take long.
Lenny
Jim
Walderscheid.
Osborne and Lenny Walderscheid, both there. They didn't give much time, did he?
No, you can see it coming. Walderscheid, number 23, gets in there. Here he comes from the right of your screen. Whitehurst had no chance. And McCarron tried to come out, throw the block. He couldn't get out there in time. You just can't throw a normal drop-back pass when you get that kind of a rush.
Well, now Beverly's got a kick from halfway in his end zone. Walderscheid picks it up on the run. Lenny Walderscheid on the run is out of bounds. At the 34-yard line, David Simmons, the rookie from Carolina, pushed him out of bounds. And once again, it's like a broken record, Johnny Morris. Chicago Bears will have good field position. They've managed just 1 field goal in the game, and 1 was blocked, but it's enough for the lead. CBS Sports Spectacular resumes Saturday, September 15th, as Howard Davis, who started the same plane as Sugar Ray Leonard, hasn't progressed, but maybe 1 fight away from a title shot, goes against Termite Watkins. 10-round lightweight bout. We'll have the Italian Grand Prix and the preview of the U.S. Roller Skating Championships. And, of course, later on, we'll also have the World Roller Skating Championships on the CBS Sports Spectacular, Saturday, September 15th. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Dave Williams, 22. The up back. Peyton, 34 behind him. Mike Phipps quarterbacking this game. Play action pass. Phipps is going for the money to Scott. And it's knocked down by number 29, Mike McCoy. They were going for 6 points to James Scott.
McCoy was there. The ball went right through his hands and into the hands of Scott. But when the ball is deflected like that, good pass blocking. And here it is. McCoy thought he had an interception. It gets through him and go right through James Scott. Watch this. Boom. But, you know, when you get a deflection like that, that's like a cue ball. And in pool, boy, it's tough to gauge that. So a good play by Mike McCoy.
Mike Phipps was traded, or actually started out with the Browns on a deal that sent Paul Warfield to Miami. That's how much the Browns wanted him as the 3rd player picked back in 1970. Gives it off to Walter Payton. Payton inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Good acceleration there. And he'll be short of about 3 yards for a first down. Charles Johnson, 99 to stop.
I'm sure that was an audible. Mike Phipps checked off at the line of scrimmage, that quick track up the middle, and it worked for a few yards. They have a 3rd down 4 situation.
We're going to have the 2-minute warning coming up before the Bears run off another play as Golden Richards replaces Bashnagel. And there it is, the 2-minute warning. Well, the Chicago Bears have been knocking on the door. They've managed just 3 points. Green Bay, 2nd and 3rd long, have not been on the board. That's our story with 2 minutes. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Bears on Green Bay's 27-yard line. Mike Phipps 6 for 9 through the air with 27 yards. So most of them have been short passes, obviously. He hit his first 5. Walter Payton has gained 61 yards in 17 carries. He has worked hard today. Skibinski, number 30, is back at running back.
I'm sure they'll try and include Payton in this play. As we mentioned, they had been pretty conservative down there on the series before, but with 3 yards to go, they may have to throw the ball with an option maybe to throw downfield to the wide receiver and Payton out of the backfield for a pass, but I think they'll include Payton in there.
I think they would probably not want to be that conservative, as you say, because they want to get closer into field goal territory if they can, and perhaps go for it. The clock looks to be out right now, and that's the problem. So if we have a difficulty with the clock, I'm looking at one end, and it is out, so the officials may have to keep the time. We'll wait and see. Third and 3. Phipps to the air. He has time. His pass complete. First down, I believe, to Skibinski. Steve Luke makes the stop. Should be a first down because these backs and ends, of course, know how far they have to get downfield. So
it's going to be a measurement. It is very, very, very close. That time they took both backs out, Payton and Skibinski, and threw to the Big John from LaSalle, Peru area in Illinois.
Roland Harper, of course, well, they've got it by the smallest of margins. Harper, fortunately for the Bears, does not have any cartilage problems in the knee that was operated on. But he'll be out 4 weeks on the injured reserve and maybe a little bit more by the time he's set to come back. So that's the 8th first down for the Bears on the 24-yard line. We know we have under 2 minutes. We'll approximate it, say, 1:50 as the clock is out here at Soldier Field. Here's Payton. Gets a couple. Douglas, the linebacker, came up strong to make the play.
And Terry Jones was also in on the play. The Packers still playing pretty basic on the 4-man front. Not too much fancy work in the defensive line, so the Bears pretty much know what they're going to do.
There's the time now. Bears have 2 timeouts remaining in the first half. 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line. Now it'll be interesting to see whether they go for it or try to work their way in for a field goal. Phipps going out. They sent everyone out on this pass pattern up the middle, batted away. It was intended for James Scott, and Mike McCoy had some help there, and he knocked it down. So they were going for the money on that pass. It'll be 3rd and 8.
A great last-second save by McCoy because Scott was waiting for the ball. He took the leap here and deflected it away again. Great play. Scott thought he had the touchdown, I'm sure, on that one.
Both defensive secondaries have excelled in the first half of this game, Johnny.
They have.
3rd and 8 at the 22. 3-0. The Bears lead. Opening day.
If the Packers would blitz one time here, they'd really cross the Bears up, but they don't seem to want to.
Our clock shows 49 seconds remaining. Phipps 7 for 11. Going to the air. Almost hit from behind. Completes the pass to the 10-yard line. Greg Latta, number 88, first down at the 10. And the Bears call a timeout. They have 1 left, and they are now at the 11.
Well, that's a key play. Ezra Johnson got there just too late as Phipps threw the ball. The Latta down just for enough for the touchdown, for the first down, and the tackle, of course, by Michael Hunt. So there wasn't great protection, but just enough for him to get the ball off on the medium-range pass as the Bears have tried to establish their tight end in the passing game.
Some interesting regional games next week on CBS. Of course, fans who are watching this game in Minnesota and, of course, here in Chicago and through the Bear Network will be interested in the Minnesota-Chicago game here at Soldier Field. The Packers will be home against the New Orleans Saints with Archie Manning. The Cardinals, who are trailing Dallas, play the Giants in New York, and the Giants have had a tough time getting that offense going. Washington against Detroit. Lions lost their opener to Tampa Bay. Danielson, of course, his injury really hurts Detroit. Tampa Bay, the victor last night, and what a game that they had, will be at Baltimore against the Colts. and Dallas against San Francisco. Regional games next week. Consult your local listings for the time and game in your area on CBS. Well, there's enough time now for Mike Phipps. They have one timeout remaining. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Johnny, you've seen the Chicago Bears so many times when they get close. Is it Peyton or did they go somewhere else?
Well, last time I said they would go to Peyton, they threw to John Skavinsky. But they'll give Peyton some tries on 1st down. They have 43 seconds to work with, which is a lot of time if you run the right plays. So James Scott's good on the quick post for them.
Well, we have a second. Want to say hello to our friends in surf country of Honolulu, Hawaii, who are watching this game today. 1st and 10 at the 11. Peyton and Skavinsky are split backs. Phipps goes to Walter Payton. Makes a move outside. Peyton to the 5, and he's knocked and stopped at the 3 by Steve Luke, the only man preventing Walter Payton from pay dirt. But the Bears are inching closely, Johnny.
A great move by Peyton. He was up the middle, made a quick cut almost in midair, dipped to the outside as the clock winds down. 25.
They called 2 plays in that last timeout, obviously, and the throw out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Purpose pass was to stop the clock, and let's see, Scott was out there, double covered well. That's the time. 18 seconds to go. It'll be 3rd and 2. Now it's possible for the Bears to get a 1st down without getting a touchdown.
Yes, it is. They could go to about the 1-foot line and get a 1st down, but that might not be key now. With 18, they got 3rd down. This is it, boy. They're going to have to score this time or probably accept the field goal.
2 tight ends. Mike Cobb, you see him coming towards you, number 87. Greg Latta, 88, who caught a 1st down pass before. Let's watch it. Peyton up the middle. Nothing. Maybe a yard, but it won't do the job. Robert Barber makes the tackle. 11 seconds now, 10 seconds to go. And the Bears call their last timeout with 8 seconds remaining. 4th and 2. Neil Armstrong has a decision to make.
Well, you can take the sure 3 points and go into the locker room with a 6-0 lead, or you can take the chance, try and go for the touchdown and settle for the 3 points. However, 8 seconds, did we say? 8 seconds. They could throw one quick pass and still get a chance for the field goal.
Don't forget the U.S. Open tennis following the game. John McEnroe will go against John Lloyd, Chris Everett's husband. Bob Thomas is going to come on, and so Neil Armstrong.
Oh, that's right. They couldn't go for the quick pass because it's 4th down, so they're going to have to take the field goal.
So Thomas will try a short one here. He has clicked on a 25-yard field goal here in the 2nd quarter. Had a 44-yard attempt blocked by Michael Hunt in the 1st quarter. So this is tantamount to a point after touchdown right now. 8 seconds remaining in the 1st half. The Packers not been able to do much, mostly because they've been hemmed in. Good punting and good coverage by the Bears. Kick will come from the 9-yard line. Holding back Nagel, the kick is good, and the Bears come out of it with 3 points. Johnny, the fact that Chicago's Bears have had great field position this 1st half, coming away with 6 points could be a little disturbing.
Well, it's better to come away with 6, but you're right. It could be disturbing because they have controlled the 1st half, and really, if the Packers score 1 touchdown in the 2nd half, they're ahead in this football game. So we got a long way to go, and I'm sure that's what Bart Starr is going to say to his troops when he goes into the locker room. He's been behind before. Bart Starr, as you know, did so many great things for the Green Bay Packers, especially in playoff games. I remember he was sure he's going to tell them that they have to win this game because to get off to a fast start like they did last year, they got off to a fast start and ended up with their 1st winning season in a long time, 8-7-1. And there's his good friend and assistant coach Zeke Radkowski, the only man down the field that played for both of these teams. Zeke played for the Bears, played for Green Bay.
The last winning coach that the Packers had was Lombardi, who left in 67. The last winning coach the Bears had was George Halas, who left in 67. Short kick. And that'll do it as the clock winds down. That is the end of the 1st half. And 2 field goals. Bob Thomas a 25-yarder and now a 19-yarder with 8 seconds to go. accounts for the scoring. And these teams have played now 120 times. The oldest continuous rivalry in the National Football League. And a lot of these games, Johnny Morris, have been close games, 10-3s, shutouts. There have been defensive battles. The old black and blue division, of course, now has a little red and orange with Tampa Bay in there. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a lot of people think they have a shot at winning this division. Of course, as we move on here, we'll talk more. But a lot of people have said that 8-8 may be enough to win in the Central Division. 8-7-1 took it last year.
I think maybe a 9-7 could win this division. The Packers and Bears have played 119 times, as you mentioned.
We're back at Soldier Field, Chicago. Dick Stockton and Johnny Morris. That's our score. The Bears lead at 6-0 before the largest regular season crowd in Bears history. Chicago dominated. It's set to kick off to start the second half. 6-0 the Bears lead. Lenny Walterscheid, number 23, and 84, Brian Baschnagel, are standing at the 5-yard line. The Bears have been blitzing, and blitzing effectively. But field position has been on their side. And there's the kickoff here into the end zone. Baschnagel 2 yards in, up the middle. Just short of the 20-yard line. Rich Wingo, number 50. And Robert Kimball, number 85, a promising wide receiver, make the stop. So that's where the Bears go on. Let's take a look at what's happened now. Chicago 103-yard rushing, and that's the key.
And also 40 plays for Chicago against 21 for Green Bay. That's double the plays, and usually the team that has the most plays will win a football game. We'll see if that holds true. 8 for 13, Mike Phipps in the passing department. Whitehurst was 2 for 8.
First and 10, Mike Phipps, the quarterback. Walter Payton, 34. Dave Williams, 22, are the setback. Pitch out goes to Payton. Cuts inside and gets about to the line of scrimmage before he's stopped by number 90, Ezra Johnson.
Great play by Ezra Johnson. He came from the other side of the line to catch Payton before he could turn up the field.
Wide receivers for the Bears, 89, James Scott. Golden Richards, 83, alternating with Baschnagel, 84. The tight end is Mike Cobb, number 87. Dan Neal, 52, is the center. The tackles are Ted Albrecht, 64, and Dennis Lick, number 70. The guards, Noah Jackson, number 65, and Reeve Sori, 69. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line. Phipps to throw. Caught there. Short of a first down by James Scott by 2 yards. Estes Hood, number 38, in his second year, makes the tackle.
The Bears have made that short passing game go well. I think that was in Neil Armstrong's thinking when he decided to start Mike Phipps. He's a good control type passer, he's experienced, and can pick out the defenses.
And a close game for the Miami Dolphins. They eked it out 9-7. Uwe von Schaman, who displaced Garo Yepremian as kicker, had to figure in that one. I know he did kick a field goal. 9-7 Miami defeats Buffalo in the opener. Dave Williams is out. Skibinski, number 30, back in there. 3rd and 2 at the 28-yard line for the Bears. Phipps rolls out to his right. A short flip to Payton. And it's knocked down. Steve Luke. He threw it kind of hard to Walter. And Luke was right there. It would have been a tough play to connect it.
Gary Weaver made the play on Phipps there. I guess it would be pretty hard to control your pass when somebody's slamming you to the ground. Gary Weaver was the key as the Bears do not gain a first down. We'll have to punt to the Packers, and let's see how they handle that Chicago defense.
Bob Parsons will kick. Keep in mind that if the defense doesn't watch the ends, Parsons can throw as he did to Baschnagel in preseason. Here is Odom standing at the 32. Parsons will boot it away, and Odom comes over. He'll run it. 40-yard line, and he's trapped there. Walter Scheid, number 23. Bears covered well. So the Green Bay Packers will go on offense for the first time in the second half with David Whitehurst, number 17, the quarterback. A 39-yard punt for Bob Parsons. Turdell Middleton, 34, and Barty Smith, 33, are the setbacks. The wide receivers for the Packers, number 80, James Lofton. They attempted one deep pass to him with Schmidt defending in the first half. And Undra Thompson, 89. Tennis follows us, the U.S. Open. Pat Summerall and Tony Traver. Turdell Middleton with Goforth in front. Middleton gets 2, maybe 3 yards. Doug Plank, number 46, the free safety, makes the stop.
And Gary Fensick got hurt again. That time he had to bust through the guard, Darrell Goforth. And when you take on a big man like that, you can get hurt sometimes. So Fensick is out of the game. He's got a sore shoulder, and I don't know how bad it is, but it seems to be the same injury he had in the first half. And let's see what the Packers do, because the Bears now will be looking for the pass.
Walter Scheid replaces Fensick. They get the pass right here over the top. It's completed to Barty Smith, who breaks the tackle and gets into Chicago territory. A first down for the Bears, and only the 4th first down for the Packers today.
Well, here is a football player. Watch Gary Campbell miss the tackle on Barty Smith, and at the end of the play, you'll see some extracurricular activity. Whitehurst waits, throws. Smith breaks the tackle here, and Campbell is really ticked off. Now, watch what she does to Thompson coming over. 59. Right there at the left of your screen. They said, hello, how are you?
Well, the Packers, for a change, have decent field position. They're at midfield. Whitehurst, 1st and 10. Flips now to Barty Smith. Smith, with a head of steam, picks up a couple of yards. Hartenstein.
Jerry Muckensturm in on the tackle. Muckensturm started for Doug Buffon, who's been a starter for 12 years for the Chicago Bears. But this year, he's going to be a backup. He's played so many great years, longer than any other Chicago Bear in history, and he lost his job to Muckensturm.
Muckensturm, of course, played the 4th linebacker in the 3-4. 23-17, the Eagles lead the Giants in the 4th quarter. Giants need a touchdown to take the lead. 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line. In the pocket. Incomplete. Under Thompson, the intended receiver. Livers was there, as was Plank. But I'll tell you, Whitehurst is attempting some difficult passes today.
Well, he's throwing from the right hash work to the left side. And when you throw across the field, you're asking for danger there, because the ball has to travel a long way when it's a precision-type pass like that. Now, they're on the right hash mark now, and let's see what he does with it.
Minnesota, San Francisco locked in a tough battle. The Vikings 21. The 49ers 16. So Philadelphia, New York, Minnesota, San Francisco are close games. And you know Miami won 9-7 over Buffalo. Heron, number 51, is in linebacker. And the 5th back, Winford Gaines, is there. Pass up the middle, complete to Barty Smith. And a first down for Green Bay. Smith still going inside the 25-yard line. And now the Packers are opening it up. And with their best scoring situation of the afternoon, at the 29-yard line, first down, Winford Gaines the tackle.
This time no blitz by the Bears, a 4-man rush, which gave Whitehurst the time. Barty Smith came out of the backfield, got a step on Gary Campbell, and then turned around, makes a nice move here as he cut back against the grain. And Barty Smith, the man who says he's going to lose his job before too long, did it very well on that play.
He's in his 6th year, former number 1 draft choice. But Eddie Lee Ivory, the rookie from Georgia Tech, is out of there. So Smith is in. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. 6-0. The Bears lead. 10-13 to go, 3rd quarter. Middleton. Couple of yards. Alan Page, the tackle, along with Doug Plank. The Bears have Hampton 99, Hartenstein 73 at end. Osborne 68, Page 82 the tackles. Muckensturm, Hicks 54, the middle linebacker. Campbell, you've seen him a lot. Terry Schmidt 44, and Livers 24, the cornerbacks. Fensick and Plank, the safeties. Lofton goes to the top. Under Thompson to the left. 2nd and 10. Passing down for Whitehurst. Flips it up. Penalty marker down. Penalty marker down. Jerry Muckensturm with Barty Smith. Could have been face guarding, and it might have been face guarding, and we'll wait and see. But the key to that is the waving of the arms. Not just screening the intended receiver, but the waving of the arms. Might have been just regular interference.
Defense, interference, first down.
Just pass interference on the defense.
He also may have hit him before the ball actually got there. Let's take a look. Here's contact before the ball arrived, and that was the call.
So pass interference, automatic first down for Green Bay. 15-yard line, their best scoring opportunity by far. They didn't know what this side of the field looked like in the first half. Lofton and Thompson are split. Up the middle, Barty Smith. Stopped for no gain. By the middle of the line, Alan Page once again.
Alan Page down to 225 pounds. He plays like 260. He's got a lot of speed, and that was the reason Minnesota let him go. They said he had gotten too light and he was getting old, but he has been a great help to the Chicago Bears in that defensive line.
You're looking at the Bears defense now. Of course, you know about Van Hampton, the #1 pick, but they had another one, and that was Alan Harris. Al Harris is out with a knee, and they think big things of him. Wayman Bryan, of course, linebacker, didn't make it. Didn't pass the physical. Whitehurst out to the flat. Hicks was defending on the play to Middleton. You got to hold your breath every time they go out to the flanks like that.
Yeah, the timing was off on that. Middleton was open for 2 or 3 seconds. By the time Whitehurst got it there, Tom Hicks had recovered and was right there on the pass. So the timing was off. It's got to be thrown a little bit sooner. As Whitehurst looking over to Zeke, you could probably see him in the background signaling in the play.
3rd and 10. We'll watch Zeke Bratkowski because it's true when they don't send the receiver in, they signal. He has already signaled the play in. 3rd and 10. Houston 29-27 over Washington. 6 defensive backs for the Bears. They threaten the blitz, and here they come. Whitehurst has a few seconds. Lofton, the receiver, incomplete. Lofton was the intended receiver at the 1-yard line, and the pass incomplete, a little bit too low and wide to James. Chester Marcall coming on now to try to put the Pack on the board with 8:41 remaining in this 3rd quarter. So it's been a game of field goals. Thomas on 25 and 19 yards. Marcall, 32-yard attempt right here. Holding is Beverly. 33-yard block. The kick is blocked. Virgil Livers apparently blocked the kick.
He was way to the outside. It looked like an overshift. He had to come a long ways, but he got a clear shot. Nobody blocked him. And boom, the Bears have stopped the Green Bay Packers, still in the game by a score of 6-0.
The fans are cheering the defense. It's pulling the game. We're going to take another look at that block by Virgil Livers and how he did it. After the first play by the Chicago Bears, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, 8:34 to go, 3rd quarter, so the Bears retain their 6-0 lead. Scott, 89, wide right. Golden Richards, 83, split to the left, with Williams and Payton in the backfield. Payton going wide. 63, Terry Jones, the tackle, makes the stop there, and he pursued very well. But let's see the block again, Johnny.
Watch the man on the left side of the line. There's Jim Gano. He'll have a man charge into him who he has to block, and Livers is further onto the outside to the left. Now Gano blocks this man. Now he'll try and reach out with his shoulder to block Livers, at least knock him off stride. He did not. Livers is so quick off the gun. He got in and blocked it and kept the Packers off the board.
Walter Payton lost 5 yards. He's now carried 22 times for 67 yards. Phipps 9 for 15 for 49. So it's 2nd and long. 5 backs in there for Green Bay. Payton has a lot of room. Walter Payton to the 20-yard line. 25, bucks his way to the 30, and he may have a first down. I think he does. Walter Payton with a brilliant burst of running, and he might have picked up all 15 right there before Hood made the tackle.
It may be just a little bit short, but it was still a good play. Noah Jackson, 65, yes, throws the key block on Douglas, and then there's the miss, and several Bears out in front of McCoy, and finally number 61 there slows him up, Davey Simmons, and they stop him, and here's another angle. Let's take a look at it.
Look how he holds that ball and switches.
But he'll tuck it away just as he makes contact here. When he sees that they're going to make contact, he'll tuck it away and put it in, and
he missed it by 1 yard, but they'll take it. A 14-yard pickup by Payton. 3rd and 1. Penalty marker down. Skibinski, who replaced Williams, is running. The penalty marker down. He, of course, gave ground after going into the line. And let's see what the penalty is. And that's important because if it's against Green Bay, it's a first down for the Bears.
It was. The right side of the Packer defensive line jumped a little bit too soon, I believe.
Barzalaskis would be the tackle, number 75. Chicago Bears, first down at the 34. Let's pick it up.
Number 90, defense, offside, first down.
It was the right side, but it was the right end. Ezra Johnson, and not Barzalaskis. So we'll take the demerit off the one and put it on the other. 1st and 10 at the 34. Don't forget U.S. Open tennis following our game. John McEnroe, colorful figure against John Lloyd. Jimmy Connors is also playing. Bjorn Borg is the man they've got to catch. 1st and 10, 34-yard line. 6-0 Bears. Play action for Mike Phipps. Up the middle, intercepted. It is intercepted by Michael Hunt. The linebacker is down at the 30-yard line. So Michael Hunt, who blocked the Thomas field goal in the first quarter, and we have a bit of an altercation at about the 20-yard line. Phipps has thrown the interception. Johnny Gray for the Packers. Ted Lick is there, and there was also a Golden Richards as well, but big interception for Green Bay.
I don't think Phipps saw Hunt, number 55, because it appeared that Golden Richards was open. Hunt made the big interception, takes it back, and then Golden Richards and Johnny Gray got into it on the left side of the screen. But more importantly to Green Bay, they have the football. John Skabinski is hurt again for the Bears, but the score remains 6-0.
John Skabinski being helped off the field. He got it from two people, really, and in a very unfortunate injury for Skabinski. Here's how it happened, Johnny.
Terry Jones hits him at the bottom of your screen. There's Skabinski trying to make the tackle after the interception. Then Ezra Johnson hits him high, and they test his knee underneath. What a way to get it. Well, that's too bad. It's unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. And let's hope that it's not that serious. It appears to be ligaments and cartilage from, I'm no doctor, but it's one or the other.
Well, the Bears have already lost Roland Harper, and they look to Skabinski, who led the NFL in rushing in preseason, to fill in at least till Roland could come back. And Dave Williams came up, and he's seen a lot of action. But the interception by Michael Hunt gives Green Bay a 1st and 10 at the 31. Barty Smith 33, Terdell Middleton 34 are the setbacks for David Whitehurst, who has another opportunity. Pitch out, goes to Middleton. Smith blocking here. Terdell puts it on, and he's out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Number 46, Doug Plank, drove him out of bounds. Good block by Barty Smith.
Yes, he took on Gary Fensick and busted him to the outside, and Terdell turned it up the middle. Terdell's limping a little bit. Let's watch Barty Smith, number 33, the lead back here. And here's the block on Fensick. He kicks him out, and there's some pretty good blocking there. Muckensturm gets blocked there by number 68, Greg Cook, too. So good blocking by the Packers.
Middleton is out, and Nate Simpson, number 48, is into the game. Tennessee State halfback. Middleton has gained 24 yards on 7 carries. And here is Simpson, and he gets 2 or 3 yards. Doug Plank, for the second straight play, makes the stop, but a first down as the Packers only needed a long one. So Green Bay keeps it going. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. And it's a horse of a different color in this half as far as field position for the Packers.
Yes, they've had a couple of successful running plays here. Let's see, will they stay on the ground? Or will Whitehurst, who likes to throw on first sometimes, try and cross the Bears up?
He's got Lofton, number 80, at the top. Smith, 44, is watching him. Under Thompson, 89, the other wide receiver. Middleton drops back and down by Osborne. Osborne right there did not give Whitehurst much of a chance. It's the 4th sack by the Chicago defense.
And that's where conservative football analysts would say, well, you should have run the ball. But let's take a look. As Whitehurst goes back, Osborne comes through, comes over McCarron, and just makes the tackle. Just straight power by Jim Osborne. He just ran over the center, Larry McCarron, number 54.
Bruce Herron, 51, comes in at linebacker. And we see Wenford Gaines as well as Neil Armstrong continues to shuttle different defenses in there. 2nd and 16 at the 22. Whitehurst goes up to Lofton, and it's incomplete. It was Gary Fensick who had the ball in his hands. It was above Lofton, who might have slipped or whatever, and it was Fensick who had it and lost it.
And Whitehurst was under tremendous pressure as Alan Page and Osborne came in again. Lofton wasn't quite ready for the ball. Let's watch the play-action pass, and here comes, what a hit Whitehurst took. Gary Fensick says, that's my ball. No, it's not. Look, what's the matter with my hands?
Just a bad pass. Last year, Whitehurst threw 17 interceptions. We'll take a look now as David with the pressure on him. All right, 3rd and 15 at the 22. 5:19 remaining in this third quarter. Whitehurst quickly to the tight end, Kaufman, who has it at the 11-yard line, but it'll be fourth down. Bruce Herron, number 51, who's looked very good in preseason at linebacker. He's a big play man. And Chester Marcall is going to try to come in and put the Packers on the board. A 32-yard field goal earlier in this half was blocked by Virgil Livers. David Beverly will hold. It'll be a shorter kick than before.
And Virgil Livers is in the same spot.
28-yard attempt by Chester Marcall. And Marcall this time splits the uprights. The kick is good. And so in a battle of field goal kickers in this game, the Green Bay Packers very much in the game are on the board. 4:43 remaining in the third quarter. It is 6-3. The Bears lead the Packers. Off the field, one of the Honey Bears is shaken up. This has been quite a day for injuries for people on and almost off the field. Kickoff. And a good one by Chester Marcall, and it'll be set down by Bashnagel in the end zone, and the Bears will go on offense at the 20.
I don't think the Honey Bear got hurt from any action on the football field. It's very hot down there on the field. She may have suffered some kind of heat prostration. But
final score, the Houston Oilers defeat the Washington Redskins 29-27. They were behind. So the Oilers get off to a good start. They've got that tough Central Division in the AFC. First and 10 for the Bears at the 20-yard line. Mike Phipps threw only 12 passes in preseason, the quarterback. Dave Williams, 22. Skavinsky was helped off the field, and Payton, 34 in the backs. Trying to get word on Skavinsky. Payton. Couple up the middle. Bears last year connected on only 7 touchdown passes, had 28 intercepted.
Mike Phipps has thrown more passes in this game than he did the entire exhibition season. So he's getting his arm a good workout. And by and large, he's been pretty accurate on those medium-range passes.
And, of course, that's been his modus operandi anyway throughout his career. 2nd and 7 at the 23. Phipps going to the air. Another short pass complete to Dave Williams. First down at the 35. Estes Hood. You look at this Packer defense. You see Hood is second year. Hunt, Douglas, second years. Ezra Johnson is third. Butler, when he's healthy, is third. There's Williams going off. Terry Jones second. Young team. He's limping a bit.
Well, they're going to have to play George Halas if they get any more people hurt. George Halas, by the way, is watching this game along with NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle. This is the 60th NFL season. And Mr. Halas, Papa Bear, was around for number 1 back in 1920.
Founded the game. Willie McClendon, number 37, a rookie from Georgia, 6'1", 205, is in at running back now, teaming up with Payton. Waller carries on 1st and 10. Gets a few beyond the 35-yard line. Ezra Johnson and Weaver make the tackle on the play. Bears offense, of course, without Lionel Antoine in the line, which we had not mentioned.
And they have played this game without Alan Ellis, the all-pro cornerback who is out with a bad knee for at least a month. And we mentioned Anderson for Green Bay. There have been injuries already, and the first game is not even over yet.
Well, Williams has a hamstring, we understand.
Oh, gosh.
Skavinsky is out with that knee. 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line. 6-3 in favor of the Bears. Phipps to Bashnagel. He was hit hard and driven out of bounds by Estes Hood. Short of a first down by less than a yard, and he was really clobbered, Mike.
Yes, Michael Hunt came through. The Packers put a blitz on that time, but the Bears still got it off, and they're playing now with McClendon and Payton in the backfield, and they're both scat backs, the halfback position, so you can tell how much the Bears are hurting. They don't have a fullback to go in there.
Now, where's Robin Earl?
Robin Earl got hurt early in the game. I don't know how serious he was hurt, so they are really down to.
We saw him limp off, but he looked healthier than the other backs that we've seen in there, outside of Waller Payton. 3rd and 1 at the 44-yard line. 2:25, 2:28 remaining. Third quarter. Low-scoring game here in Soldier Field. Quarterback sneak, and he's got it. First down, Bears. They ran that play when Papa Bear started the Staleys, huh?
That's the old Papa Bear quarterback special. It still goes in the NFL.
Phipps, of course, ended Avellini's string, and last year did pretty well toward the end of the season. He started 4 of the last 6 games and engineered the Bears to 3 victories. Dave Williams is back in the game as McClendon goes out. 1st and 10, Bears at their own 45. Looking one way, Phipps going to Golden Richards. Can't hold on to it. Steve Luke was there, and he had help from Mike McCoy.
Mike Phipps went from the right to the left and tried to throw it in between the zone. They had him short and deep there. And boy, does Golden Richards take a hit from Steve Luke here. He had already dropped the ball, but he also got a penalty, or not a penalty, I would say an extra oomph from Steve Luke, who can tackle.
Some of the new rules centered around that situation, too, and you don't always have to connect to be called for it. Greg Latta, 88. Pretty good downfield as a receiver is in there, but they give it to Walter Payton, and Payton is hemmed in. Fine play by number 70, Robert Barber. You know, Mike Butler, who's out of action with a dislocated elbow, and Ezra Johnson combined for 32 sacks last season for the Packers. And you need that double rush from the outside. And Barber, not the pass rusher that Butler is, but he's done pretty well against the run today. 3rd and 9. Pack now goes with 5 defensive backs as Gary Weaver goes out. Bashnagel, Richards, and Scott. 3 wide receivers in there for the Bears. Statue of Liberty to Walter Payton. Cuts inside, and a lot of movement and a gain of about 5. Steve Luke finally brought him down, but it'll be 4th down, and Parsons will come in to kick.
Kind of the old Statue of Liberty. I'll tell you, Steve Luke is all over the place here. Payton comes back and tries to go back against the grain in the middle of the field, which is tough because there's going to be a lot of people pursuing. And there he is, number 46, Steve Luke.
So Parsons will punt from the 35. Odom is back. Johnny Gray, the short man. Good high kick. Fair catch call. And that one sails into the end zone. In the first half, no matter how Parsons kicked it, the ball would bounce and hang in, and the Bears were down at inside the 10-yard line. But the Packers going on offense. They're the only ones to score in this 3rd quarter. Only 20 seconds remaining in the quarter. 6-3 Chicago. Minnesota defeats San Francisco 28-22. Tommy Kramer threw 2 touchdown passes to Ahmad Rashad, but in the 4th quarter, he attempted another one. Rashad caught it, fumbled it, and Sammy White recovered the fumble for the touchdown. 28-22, the final score, as the Vikings beat the 49ers. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. The pitch goes to Barty Smith. Barrels his way. No gain. Well, you talked about Bratkowski signaling like a third base coach. Let's see if he does it here.
Let's see if we can pick up the play. Okay. That means hang on to the ball. Oh, boy. What's that, a spiral?
It's a hit and run. It's a hit and run, Johnny. There's the gun. That'll end the quarter. So they can not only give the sign, but they can talk it over. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Bears 6, the Packers 3. We now pause for a word from your local station. Zeke Bratkowski give his signs. We start the 4th quarter. He had a chance to talk to David Whitehurst. This is Dick Stockton along with Johnny Morris. 6-3 the Bears lead. 2nd and 12 for Whitehurst. Barty Smith, Tredell Middleton 80-34 in the backfield. Whitehurst to throw. He has time. He's going to go to Lofton. Double covered, and Lofton had it and dropped it. He had it and dropped it at the 38-yard line. Schmidt and Plank were there.
The ball came right up over the top, and sometimes those are tough when it comes right over the top of your head. And the pass was there, though, right in the old breadbasket, and he dropped it. Tough break for the Packers. They're now going to go from a 3rd and 12 situation. The Bears know it's going to be a pass, and they've got their 6 defensive backs in.
Let's see if he can pick off the signal here, John.
Okay. I'll bet you it's a pass. Well, they've already given it to him.
Okay, 3rd and 12. 3 wide receivers in. Tullis, 87, comes in. Under Thompson in the slot. Whitehurst has time, but he better get rid of it. Incomplete. He was trying to pass. It is an incompleted pass. Alan Page was the initial impetus on Whitehurst. He had enough time, but you just can't live forever in that pocket. Let's see it again.
The Bears had the Packers covered downfield, and Whitehurst wanted to throw, but he saw them covered, so he tried to hang on there. And so he waited, and he just waited a little bit too long as Alan Page came off the ground. And Mike Hartenstein was also in on a good play by the Bear defense, tenacious.
Whitehurst now 5 for 17, 92 yards. David Beverly. And deep is Walter Scheid. Walter Scheid could get a good run back here. Penalty marker down. Dave Simmons.
The Bears are going to be penalized for either clipping or holding or something like that.
45-yard kick, and Sampson is hurt, and I think it was a clip. Personal foul against the Bears.
As you know, there are new rules. You can't cut a man now on the special teams. You got to hit him above the waist, and sometimes in the reaction of what you're doing on the game, it's the first game they might forget, or by instinct when you've been doing something for 15 or 20 years.
Personal foul, clipping, number 84 on the run back, first down.
Baschnagel.
Let's see if we can take a look and see Baschnagel's 84. He didn't hit him, cut him, he just hit him in the back.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles held off and beat the Giants 23-17, and we have a lot of close games in the NFL, including this one at Soldier Field. Let's see what Dave Beverly did following his punt here.
Well, he got a little love hug from Lee Kuntz right here after he hit the ball, but there, it's just a little tap on the shoulder to let him know he was there, and down went Beverly. Very good job, but no penalty called.
Let you know it's a contact game, David. First and 10 at the 32-yard line for the Bears. Peyton has carried 27 times this afternoon for 90 yards. Ball at the 32. One count by Phipps. He goes up the middle to Williams. Williams picks up 5 yards about, so it'll be second and about 5. Phipps 11 for 19 through the air for 68 yards. One interception by Michael Hunt, which resulted in the Green Bay score, Markle's 28-yard field goal. Robin Earl is on the bench. He's on crutches, and Skabinski had the knee injury. And as we told you, as you know, Eddie Lee Ivory has suffered a twisted knee. Second and 6, not a good day at all for the running backs. Second and 6 at the 36. Peyton doesn't get anywhere. Gary Weaver might have set him back a yard. It'll be third down.
This is the fourth quarter. The Bears are going against a very strong wind, while the Packers will have the wind at their backs, which could benefit them later on in the quarter. But right now, it looks to be a 15 or 20 mile an hour wind from the looks of the flags. Third and 4
at the 39-yard line. Opening minutes here of the fourth quarter. 6-3. 3 wide receivers in there. Baschnagel, Richards, and Scott for Chicago. Phipps has time. Peyton has it. Gives ground. He has a first down. Walter Payton is loose. He's at the 45 and the 40, and he's tackled inside the 40-yard line. That took about field sense. Walter Payton grabbed it, gave ground, and then looked for room. And in an open field, you can forget about it.
Simply a fantastic play by Walter Payton. As Mike Phipps went back, the Packers in their standard 4-man rush could not get the pressure on Phipps. Payton came out of the backfield, and watch the grab. This was not an easy catch. He came back, juggled the ball, and just instinct. This is just cat-like moves as he cuts back and forth in the field. Barber tries to get him from behind. Finally, it takes 3 or 4 Packers to bring him down, but not before Chicago has a first down.
38-yard line of Green Bay. Well, no amount of statistics could ever show you what Payton did on that play. Here's Walter again. Scrambles up for a couple of yards. Barzalaskis makes the stop. Maybe a yard. 2nd and 9 for the Bears. Dominated the first half, but could manage 2 field goals. And in the second half, Green Bay with an interception, better field position, very much in the game at 6-3. That's the score. 6-3. The Bears in front. 87, Cobb is the tight end. Wrong side is to the left. Scott, 89, is wide left. Up the middle goes Williams for a couple. Terry Jones, and now a problem with Douglas.
Michael Cobb was in out there getting to know each other very well down there. And sometimes they get too familiar, I guess. But it's a physical game. Every man reacts differently to getting hit. Am I right?
You were in there. I would say that's the case, and you got to be tough. 3rd and 7 at the 35. 5 backs in there for the Packers. They show a blitz, but they don't come at all. And Phipps pass complete to Walter Payton. Payton gets by 1. He's at the 20, and he can't spin away inside the 20-yard line. Boy, you better have a lot of clamps to bring him down. Estes Hood.
Boy, did he put a move on Douglas. Mike Douglas, number 53. He's got an impossible job. Here comes Payton out of the backfield. Now watch the moves. I hope we get a chance to see it. But anyway, he made a move and cut to the right, and there was no way that Douglas could stay with him. Impossible. He made the dive, tried to stop him, and finally, up comes Hood to make the tackle.
Another first down. Ball at the 18-yard line. Walter Payton carrying the ball, gaining the yardage, catching passes now in this 4th quarter. Both wide receivers out to the left for Mike Phipps. Up the middle goes Williams, and he gets to the 12-yard line. Good run for Williams. Payton now, by the way, has caught 4 passes for 49 yards. He has rushed for 93.
Straight ahead here. Here goes Williams. Good block by Dan Neal. Finally, the Packers stop him, but he created the hole. You saw the gap there. You create gaps like that, you're going to get yards and bring it right on down.
And Johnny, they can be so conscious of Payton and what he can do on the outside. And they've been vulnerable to that inside run in the past, and they certainly were there. 2nd and 4. 12-yard line.
Oh, fumble.
Williams fumble, and the Packers recover. Costly fumble for the Bears because they were moving the ball smartly, and Dave Williams, who was activated along with Lynn Bodine, a guard this week, fumbled, and the Packers recover. Might have been Barber, but let's take another look.
It looked like he never really got control of the ball on the handoff. It came right off his hip, and there's a pileup, and the Packers were on the bottom. Green Bay has the ball.
Well, the Honey Bears here in Chicago are voted by the experts who know, next to the Dallas people, as the loveliest ladies. At down 1 where they had a little problem with one of their people. 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line. Nate Simpson is in the game. Costly fumble, a pass. Grab there by Lofton, number 80. Out of bounds after a short game. Hicks, the middle linebacker. Tom Hicks, number 54, for the Chicago Bears, had ligament surgery. And he's been solid in pass defense.
He's come back from a bad shoulder and a bad knee to hold his starting job at the middle linebacker spot from the University of Illinois, Tom Hicks.
Of course, I want to remind you, as you saw, U.S. Open tennis coming away after this game. 2nd and 6 at the 13-yard line. Barty Smith, the upback. His number 32, Steve Atkins from the University of Maryland, seeing his first action driven out of bounds by Hampton. Steve Atkins, who a lot of people think have deceptive speed a la Franco Harris in his college career at Maryland, had some off days and some good days. He was a bit of an enigma, but they say that the guy has some speed to go outside and is a tough inside runner.
Well, let's see the situation. What do you think Zeke and Bart Starr will come up with? 3rd down. About 6 yards to go. Deep in your own territory.
8:45 to go. I think you got a pass. 6 defensive backs. 6 defensive backs for Chicago. Osborne came in. Question is, who moved? Mel Jackson, number 71, might have, and he did earlier in the game. And that's going to... CBS Sports Spectacular resumes Saturday, September 15th. I'll be in Houston, Texas for the 10-round lightweight bout between Howard Davis and Termite Watkins, along with several other events. CBS Sports Spectacular, newer and better than ever this year, and a lot of live coverage of events that you'll enjoy. 1st and 10 for the Bears at the 19-yard line. 8:23 to go. 6 6-3, Chicago leading. Payton. And the stop is made by Mike Douglas. Reeve Sorey was blocking in front of Walter. How do you think Neil Armstrong will play it now? You figure about 8 minutes to go in the game. If you control the ball on the ground and maybe come out with 3, possible to get a 9-3 advantage with maybe a couple of minutes to play if you work it right.
The tendency has been to go conservative and not throw now unless they are in a throwing situation, but that isn't always the right way to do it. You know, it just depends on a situation. Second and 7 now.
Baschnagel 84 to the top of your picture. Scott 89 to the bottom. 2nd and 7. Phipps on a passing down. Walter Payton. The ball is incomplete. The ball is down. Fans getting on Mike Phipps a bit there.
The screen had set up. Actually, it was a pretty good play. The screen had set up, but the pass was not too accurate. But overall today, Mike Phipps has done fairly well. His percentages are good.
That's the thing. He has been judicious with his passing. He has hit the short pass as well. His percentage is pretty good. He is 13 for 22 for 108 yards. And that's what Neil Armstrong wanted. I don't think, as you say, Vince Evans had the best preseason of the 3 quarterbacks, but you don't want to take a chance and maybe hurt a confidence, perhaps. You want to go with the technician, and that's what they have with Phipps. 5 defensive backs for the Pack. 3rd down on a draw. They give it to Walter Payton, who has a 1st down and more. Walter Payton, who has done it all for the Chicago Bears today, gets to the 34-yard line and a 1st down. Simmons and Barber make the stop, and a lot of times people say, you say he did it all. He's doing it all today.
Yes, he got some good blocking at the beginning, and then he just weaved his way. Just notice how he cuts back and forth. Now his legs keep driving, even though 2 or 3 Packers have a hold of him, and that was a key play. That kept his drive alive.
109 yards for Walter Payton. 49 yards receptions. He's carried 31 times today.
And it's hot down there.
Jerry Eckwood gained 121 for Tampa Bay. Phipps wants a timeout, and that could be kind of tough at this stage because you don't want to use one of your timeouts here in case he comes close at the end of the game. Eckwood had 121 yards for Tampa Bay last night. That's our score with 6:50 to play in the game. That's our score, but look at a couple of others. Close games throughout the National Football League. 4th quarter, Atlanta leading New Orleans 34-31. St. Louis now trailing 19-14 to the Dallas Cowboys 4th quarter. 1st and 10 at the 35. Bears trying to chew up the clock at this point. 6:50 to go. Up the middle to Walter Payton. Number 37, Willie McClendon, is in the game. The rookie from Georgia, along with Payton. 1st downs. Bears have 15 and the Packers 7.
How many carries did you say Payton had?
31. Yeah. 32 now.
You know, he's not a big man. You know, that's a lot of carries. I mean, he just does this year after year. 5'10", 200 pounds.
2nd and 9 at the 36. Dave Williams, 22, back in the game. Phipps looking downfield. Completes to the 40-yard line to Williams, the back, coming out of the backfield. It'll be 3rd and 5. Michael Hunt, the middle linebacker, who has an interception. Bears have escaped pretty well, considering a fumble by Williams going in. There's a score of the Cleveland Browns with Lyle Alzado to help their defensive front line, leading the New York Jets 7-3, 2nd quarter. Jets going with Matt Robinson at quarterback.
Another key play, 3rd and 5.
And 5 defensive backs for the Packers. They're looking to the sideline. A little bit of confusion. 3 wide receivers for Chicago. 3rd and 5. Mike Phipps in trouble. Open field. Will run it. He has a 1st down. And he's tackled inside Green Bay territory at the 47-yard line by Dave Simmons, the rookie from North Carolina. Phipps, one thing he is doing is playing intelligent football today.
That time they put the double team on Payton out of the backfield. He was looking for Payton, but he was covered. So what did he do? He decided to run as he got away from Barzalauskas and then even faked after he was beyond the line of scrimmage. But that's all right. As far as the Bears are concerned, Mike Phipps got the 1st down before Simmons made the tackle.
As long as you don't throw it beyond the line of scrimmage.
You can kick it, though. Did you know that?
That's right. First and 10 at the 47 with 4:48 remaining in the game. Clock becoming important here, especially with the Bears getting first downs. Payton reversing. Tried to get back to the line, he couldn't. He loses about 4 yards. Good pursuit by Mike Douglas and Weaver, linebackers. The Rams leading the Oakland Raiders 7-0 in the first quarter. The Rams of Georgia Rosenblum. Perhaps the biggest behind closed doors story of the offseason. Second and 13 at midfield. Packers, of course, want to keep the Bears out there, want to make sure they stay in long yardage. They're trailing 6-3 on a delayed Walter Payton. Payton still on his feet, gets to the 40. It'll be short of first down by about 4 yards. Steve Luke once again makes the stop. He's been there all day, but this Payton's something else.
Simple draw play as Payton shifts over, and then he's just told to pick his way, and that's exactly what he can do and do well. Just ran by people there. Had him going the wrong way. Leskus comes from behind, and Steve Luke is finally in on the tackle. Very close to a first down, about 3 yards short.
They give him a hand.
A third down situation.
They give him a hand as he comes out of the game. McClendon and Williams are the backs. Payton has gained 118 yards, and he looks tired out there, Johnny. 3rd and 3 at the 40. And the Bears calling a timeout will leave them with only one. I believe this is the second timeout that the Bears have called in the second half.
Neil Armstrong must be counting on not needing them at the end of the game.
Minnesota Vikings, who won their opener against the 49ers, will come here to Soldier Field next week to do battle with the Bears. New Orleans, trailing in a close game with Atlanta, will go up to Lambeau Field to face the Packers in Green Bay. Cardinals and Giants next week as well on CBS. Also on NFL regional games, the Washington Redskins and the Detroit Lions at the Silver Dome. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cloud 9 with their opening night win over Detroit, will go against Burt Jones and the Baltimore Colts, and the Dallas Cowboys against the 49ers in San Francisco next Sunday. Consult your local listings for the game and time in your area. CBS Sports presents NFL with perhaps one of the most balanced conferences, the NFC, that they've had in many years. Payton goes out for one play, and he's back in. That's what he's done today.
He actually didn't even go out for a play, did he? He just went out for the break.
Well, a tantamount to a play, I guess.
Got a chance to rest for a second.
Right. All the scoring by the virtue of the field goal. Bob Thomas kicked 2 in the first half, 25 and 19 yards, both in the second quarter. And Chester Markle, a 28-yarder for the Green Bay score. 3rd and 3 now, 40-yard line. Phipps at 3rd and 3. He has a lot of time, and his pass is complete to Boschnagel. First down. First down at the 35. Good defending. So the Bears continue to keep the ball. 3:12 remaining.
Brian Boschnagel, who played in 4 Rose Bowls for Ohio State, had a good training camp, plays behind Scott most of the time, just a good pass blocking, nice precision pass, and the Bears have really improved upon that over last season.
Johnny, he's one of those guys who played hurt. I mean, there are people, of course, that come up with things and maybe it hampers their effect. Boschnagel goes out and he plays hurt a lot. 1st and 10 at the 35. Both wide receivers out to the right. Payton going to the left. Tripped up, but still picks up maybe 4 yards. He had Noah Jackson blocking in front of it. The rookie Charles Johnson, number 99, makes the play.
The clock is winding down. 2:58 left in the game, so they have really chewed up a lot of time on this drive with 2 or 3 key third down plays to keep it alive.
At this point, and the game is by no means over, Neil Armstrong's decision to go with Mike Phipps and the kind of game plan that they've had has worked to perfection.
It has.
2nd down, 5 to go with both wide receivers. Boschnagel and Scott are out to the left now. Second back through. Payton once more. Charles Johnson. Neil Armstrong on the sidelines with 2:23 to go. Second year, he's 53 years old. Was also an assistant coach at Houston, head coach in the Canadian League. Before, he worked for Bud Grant 8 years as the defensive coordinator.
We'll have to start checking the record book. I don't know what the record is for times carried a ball in one game, but Walter Payton's got to be getting pretty close.
We hope that stuntman Stan Barrett gets more than close as he attempts to break the sound barrier in his rocket-powered land vehicle. Project SOS, the speed of sound, Saturday, September 15th on CBS Sports, preceding the CBS Sports Spectacular. Walter Payton's going out of the game, and Willie McClendon from Georgia. There's Bart Starr, who's realized that it's not a matter of a guy here and a guy there to rebuild. It's been agonizing, is the way Bart has described Green Bay coming back to the fold.
There's Walter taking some oxygen, getting wiped off because he'll probably be back in the game. He's got at least 34 or 35 carries. 36 carries. That's a lot on a hot day like this, and he's had to carry the load as far as the running game is concerned. And he earns that big salary that he gets. He's such a threat.
125 yards for Payton. He's caught 4 passes for 49. And don't forget, he doesn't have Roland Harper, and while Skibinski figured to do the job, he's been racked up. Earl was racked up, and they had to use Williams, who was just picked up this week. So it's 3rd and 3 at the 28 with 2:23 to go. Here is Williams, short of a first down. So it'll be 4th down, and they're going to call for Bob Thompson. Mike Douglas, who along with Luke been in on most of the tackles today. Luke not on that play, but he had been.
The Packers have called a timeout. They used one of theirs, which it's probably strategy-wise. They want Thomas to miss, make him think about it. They're also using the 2-minute warning clock, so they'll have 2 timeouts left when they do get the ball.
2:16 to go. Thomas is not on the field right now as Phipps comes to the sideline. Don't forget U.S. Open tennis. Following our game, Bjorn Borg is the man everyone wants to catch. Vitas Geliulaitis and Guillermo Vilas both won some very tough matches yesterday. Billie Jean King at 35 years old also advanced. And we'll have tennis action following. John McEnroe is scheduled to play today.
They've had a conference at the sidelines, and they may attempt to go for it rather than go for the field goal.
4th and 1. Of course, a field goal would mean that the Packers would need a touchdown to win the game.
And maybe because of the fact that the wind's against them, it's at the 26, be about a 32, 42-yard field goal. They figure maybe the odds are better to try and get the first down and eat up the clock.
A little more than a yard, Johnny, and Cobb, 87, is in there now. Short yardage, and this
could be the old ball game right here.
Bit of a gutty play by Armstrong. 4th and 1, 21-yard line. In motion, Baschnagel. Phipps rolls out, and Phipps throws the ball incomplete. It's incomplete, and the Packers take over. So the move by Neil Armstrong backfires. It was Gary Weaver. Michael Hunt also put the pressure on. And the rollout, and now the Packers take over, and the Bears had a chance for 3, and they elected not to go for it.
I'll say one thing, they didn't go conservative. As Phipps rolled out, Gary Weaver got a hand on him, and then Phipps was lucky to get the ball off, did a good job, and they almost had the completion, but a good play by the Green Bay Packers, and Weaver in particular. They have the ball, 2 timeouts, 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go, and the 2-minute warning.
It's amazing how sometimes when you least expect it, a coach who's conservative will do something that's way out. 1st and 10 at the 26. Whitehurst has to go 75 yards or shorter to tie. Here's a pass.
Intercepted.
Almost intercepted. Triple Thompson, Virgil Lively, who has made some key plays in the secondary for the Bears, reached over and tipped it away there. 2nd and 10.
Here we go again. They're going from the right hash mark and throwing that pattern all the way across the field, across the left hash mark and to the other sideline, which means the ball has to go a long way. Good pressure by the Bears. I don't know. They must have a particular strategy for doing that, but it's dangerous.
Steve Atkins, 32. Marty Smith, 33 of the backs. Terdell Middleton not in there. 2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line. And Whitehurst to put it in the air again. Up the middle to Barty Smith, complete at the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 6. Tom Hicks, the middle linebacker, makes the stop. And we've wound down to 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go in the game. We'll wait for the official 2-minute warning, and there it is. So when we resume, Green Bay will have third and about 5, a long 5, trailing 6-3. That's the score. Correct score. Chicago Bears 6, Green Bay Packers 3, third and 5. Do we watch Lofton here, Johnny?
Maybe so, but I don't know if they'll try and go real deep on it. They know the Bears will be playing loose. They'll try and get that 10, 12-yard pass.
He's at the bottom of your picture. Third and 5. Big play for the Packers at the 31. 2 minutes to go in the game. Tullis, 87, also in there. Whitehurst has some time. His pass. Barty Smith has it. He may be short of the first down. He's right around the marker. Let's see where they spot it. You know the Packers will go for it anyway. Inches. And they'll go. 4th and inches at the 36-yard line. Green Bay stays alive, and that's one of the things Barty Smith does so well. He may not have the speed of an Ivory, who was hurt today, but he's a good, reliable receiver coming out of the backfield.
But you know what they're going to say in the meetings come Monday or Tuesday? Why didn't you just kind of leap forward a little further and then get out of bounds? You know, it's just one of those things. So now they are faced with a 4th down situation with a minute to go. A minute, and our clock is broken again, but I think it's a little less than 2 minutes, isn't it?
We'll see that clock pretty soon on our screen as we wind down. Ron Ridehouse, number 76, is the 5th defensive lineman in there. 1:55 remaining. 1:55, but the Packers must get the inches right here. They've got it and more. Steve Atkins, the rookie from Maryland, has the first down. Keeps it going for the Packers. They have 2 timeouts remaining. They line up without a huddle. The ball at the 38-yard line. 6-3, the Bears lead. Packers want to get at least into field goal position. Whitehurst has a lot of time. Starts to take off. His flip is complete to Tullis, and a fumble. The pass was complete, and then the fumble.
And the clock continues to run.
Tullis caught it and dropped it and recovered it. And now the clock stops. They're short of a first down by about a yard. And the Packers will call their second timeout. I believe they have one left. That they have none left. They have no more timeouts remaining. This is their last one. It is 2nd and a yard to go. 1:20 remaining in the game.
And that ball just sat there on the turf. Nobody seemed to see it.
And the officials never said incomplete. They stood there saying, whoever gets it has it, folks.
Finally, it was Tullis who got up and got the ball. But now you talk about last-minute strategy with no timeouts left. And a minute and 28, I believe that clock says. So they'll have to use the sidelines.
Why the timeout there?
Well, I think they felt they just had to get organized, think about what they're going to do.
10-round lightweight bout. Howard Davis and Termite Watkins. I'll be in Houston, Texas as the CBS Sports Spectacular returns Saturday, September 15th. The Italian Grand Prix highlights will be shown, as well as a preview of the U.S. Roller Skating Championships. Roller skating is becoming a fast, popular sport, as you saw in the Pan Am Games and around the world.
Actually, the Packers only have to go maybe 30 or 35 yards to have a shot at a field goal. The wind is at their backs. So with the score remaining 6-3, they still have a good shot.
And of course, if they get the field goal, get the chance, and they connect, they could be going into sudden death, so don't go away. 1:20 remaining. 2nd and 1. Packers have no more timeouts. Barty Smith has a first down to the 49-yard line. But the clock becomes so important as you see it there.
Now the officials have called timeout for a moment because the Bears were a little slow so that everybody could get set.
1:07. Now they started again. Cordell Middleton not in there. Here's the pass out to Lofton, but it just past his outstretched fingertips. They wanted, ideally, Johnny, as you know as a receiver, is to get something near the sideline where they can gain yards and stop the clock. We have exactly a minute to play. 2nd and 10, the ball at the 49-yard line.
You have that feeling that Lofton's going to explode sometime throughout this game. He's such a threat. Anybody who could broad jump or long jump, I should say, 27 feet. Maybe he can go straight up 27 feet. Who knows?
2nd and 10, 49-yard line. Packers thinking of field goal position here. Whitehurst fires. Lofton.
Oh!
Incomplete at the 30-yard line. Lofton was hit hard by Terry Schmidt, who jarred the ball loose from James Lofton. And what a break that would have been for the Packers at the 30. But it's an incomplete pass. The defensive secondary hitting so hard for the Bears today.
And here it is, and Terry Schmidt, got to give him credit. He jolted that ball. Actually, he had dropped the ball before Schmidt even hit him, but Schmidt, in going through with his tackle, gave him no chance to recover the bobbled ball, and that hurts the Packers. They would have been down on a 30-yard line. 3rd
and 10 at the 49. And they're going to have to, they really have 2 more downs to move the ball.
Blitz.
Here they come. He dumps it off now to Barty Smith. Smith is running out of bounds, racing for his life. Hicks was trying to chase him. And Fensick there too. Fensick pushed him out of bounds. More important for the Packers is that the clock is stopped, but now it's 4th down and about 9. So they've got to get at least the 9 yards.
And if they don't stop the clock, they've got to get up and somehow get it stopped. A good play by Whitehurst because Campbell was right on him, and he just dumped the ball over, and Barty Smith saved and stopped the clock, and they've got a chance now here.
5 defensive backs. Campbell and Herron, 2 linebackers in there. 4th and 9, midfield. Blitz, they got it. It was Bruce Herron, number 51, who ended the Green Bay Packers' hopes. The 6th quarterback sack with 47 seconds to go, and barring a mistake by the Bears, Herron with a blitzing smother of David Whitehurst has sealed it for the Chicago Bears.
Number 51 comes right up in there, scot-free, as the back couldn't get there in time to stop it, and the Packers were not able to hand. That's the story of this game. Another angle of it, the story of this game was that Green Bay was not able to counteract Chicago's blitzing defenses, and that's as simple as that.
And you know, Johnny, when Whitehurst did have a chance to throw, they weren't blitzing, and you wonder why maybe the Bears should be blitzing every play the way it worked for them. 1st and 10, 42-yard line. The Bears aren't going to try anything fancy. As Phipps sits down. Six to 3. And Mike Phipps, who led the Bears to 3 victories when he started 4 of the last 6 games of the 1978 season, is going to continue leading, and I guess that's what he did today as Neil Armstrong has taken off the headsets. Phipps 15 for 25 for 117 yards. He used Walter Payton a lot today, I'll tell you that.
As the Bears are starting to congratulate themselves, Mike Phipps will obviously be the starting quarterback for Chicago next week, as the Green Bay Packers once again failed to beat the Bears in Chicago. They have now lost 6 out of 7 to the Chicago Bears over the past 2 or 3 years, and that's it. The Bears win it. The final score, 6-3.
Neil Armstrong is a winner. Looks across to Bart Starr. The injuries will, of course, be a story as far as Green Bay is concerned with Ivory, but Armstrong, the big story and the big question of the week and all throughout preseason camp, who's going to be the quarterback for the Chicago Bears? And Neil Armstrong said, finally, I'm going to use all 3 just as you would in a baseball team. Starting relief, who's ever hot, I'll go with him.